Whitey, she got a new song out of this anyway. Hoops, I did it again. So that's right. Hello, is this on?
No, Watkins.
I'm sorry. I know I don't want to be the wet blanket on everybody.
It's Whitey and Watkins, and it starts.
Hurry up!
Now.
First of all, look who's here. It's Chris Watkins.
Wow. I know, it does feel like it's been years.
And even the last time you were here, you were Bronchi Watkins. You were not feeling tip-top.
Yeah, I haven't been myself since it's been like probably 2-3 weeks since I've done this show at this time, feeling 100%. And
100%.
Feels great. Feels great, baby. Right in time, too. I mean, NFL starts tomorrow. It's a good time to be feeling right. That's a new one. I haven't heard that.
I have to keep saying that about the NFL starting tomorrow. I kind of have to remind myself.
Yeah.
Because it's still my brain. There's part of my brain that says, no, it can't start yet. But it does.
It does. And we're already getting news. Travis Kelce might have torn his ACL, or I guess they said his ACL's intact, but he's going to be questionable for game one. So it's officially football season once you hear, a couple days before the game start that, oh my God, your most important fantasy player is now out. So it's right in stride the football season already.
I was looking at all the predictions today, and mostly they're just funny because nobody, no matter how much you know about football, nobody knows what's going to happen between now and February.
No,
nobody knows. We like to think we have some idea. That said, Sports Illustrated's experts made their predictions, and 5 of their 10 experts picked the Steelers to reach the playoffs this year. I think they all have them as a 7 seed. Mm-hmm. So my question here is, are the 49ers opening the season against a playoff team?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of hype behind the Pittsburgh Steelers right now. I mean, the preseason that Kenny Pickett is coming off of, it's quite literally a perfect passer rating that he's had. There's George Pickens hype all over the place. People think that Mike Tomlin's had that streak of over 500 seasons.
They finished on a roll last year and had a great preseason.
Right. And, it's all those things are going to lead to a lot of hype heading into the season.
And they're home.
And they're at home. Exactly. I think that the Niners definitely have a tough test in front of them for sure, especially with all the questions going on around them, the Nick Bosa stuff. I mean, I think all the quarterback stuff is finally behind them now, but, there's just a new drama happening, and it's going to be an interesting week one, and to see how much all of this outside noise affects this 49ers team is going to be really interesting leading into week one. And we've almost forgotten about that whole kicker problem too.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up because let's face it, things could be brighter for the Niners with their opener just days away, and that's where they are, and that's just the way it is. But you got Bosa, that situation, which gets a little tedious, doesn't it? But I understand it's vitally important. And I don't know why he's not going to give in. No. It's at some point he is not going to cave.
Why should he?
I think they're trying to figure out creative ways to meet his needs. Kittle is hurt, and then you mentioned Moody, and then you've got a team that you're playing that probably is better right now than a lot of people assumed the Steelers would be when they first glanced at the schedule.
Right. So, I mean, and you're probably
happy opening day.
Exactly. You're probably playing the Steelers at the worst time too. I mean, it's the beginning of the season. Everyone's healthy. Again, there's tons of hype leading into this game for the Steelers. Like, it's not the middle of the season where you kind of start to see some warts and feel some negativity maybe about your team or have questions. Like, it's all positive energy for the Steelers, and it's almost the complete inverse for the Niners, where there's nothing but outside noise, outside drama, and the Niners can't wait for week one. So maybe there is that, just from a football perspective, everyone's excited to put all the noise aside and just be super locked in on Sunday. And maybe that plays itself out. But from the most part, what I've seen as a sports watcher my entire life, that kind of stuff is going to seep in, especially if it's going to be a tough game. Like, it's really hard to win close games when you have outside distractions, just because, I mean, again, other teams are going to have a lot more belief. And if Bosa isn't playing on Sunday, it's going to be, can we win this game without Nick Bosa? Like, it's just going to be a whole lot tougher for them to try and pull through with all of these questions coming from the outside.
I hope he plays. If I had to bet right now, I would say he ain't playing.
Yeah.
I hope he does, and it's certainly possible, but I don't think he's going to play.
It's Wednesday. They still have to fly over to Pittsburgh. I mean, at this point, I assume they're really starting to get into the game plan of what they're going to happen, what's going to happen on Sunday. And I think if you're the 49ers coaching staff, you kind of have to assume he's not going to be there. And of course, if he is, by some miracle, if they can get this thing done and he can play, he'll obviously be ready to go, and that'll be great. But right now, I don't think there's any reason to suspect that he will get this thing done and he'll be playing on Sunday.
Jay and I had, I think, a fairly interesting conversation yesterday while you were off gallivanting with your new best friend.
Yeah.
And that, that's cool. Whatever.
Yeah. GNC. I don't know if you heard the new name, Gary and Chris.
Oh,
GNC. Yeah.
No, I hadn't.
So yeah, we're getting close. So,
yeah. All right. That's
just saying.
perfect.
Just saying.
That's great.
Yeah.
We used to throw names like that.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, that was fun, but that was in the past. And me and Gary we're coming pretty close. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
You have a logo yet? Like our
No, but I'm sure it's coming soon. So I don't know if he's quite the artist that you are. So,
you are, frankly. But we were talking about holdouts in basketball and baseball, and when it comes to football, we both feel this way. I'm assuming you do too. I don't know. When it's a football player holdout, it's like, I don't really hold it against the guy. Sometimes in basketball or baseball, it's like, hey, the team needs you.
Right.
Let's figure this out. And you're under contract. Let's play. But football, given the nature of the sport, if a guy has a contract that's going to run out and he's holding out, I don't blame him one bit for holding out, because it can be done like that.
Yeah, exactly. If he plays one game, what if he's like, you know what? You're right. Let's negotiate this later. I'm still getting paid, whatever. We'll figure it out at the end of the season. Well, what if he plays week 1, slips and falls and tears his knee up, Travis Kelce got hurt in practice the other day. Like, you can get hurt playing football. Any snap could be your last. And why should you risk that money, especially when you're as important as Nick Bosa is to the success of this team? Just doesn't make any sense for him.
What you get is a lot of praise on NFL Network.
Yeah,
that's what you get.
Exactly. Yeah. He's a gamer.
Yeah.
Oh, he doesn't
That's
care.
one of the most courageous things I've ever seen.
Yeah. Oh, courageous would definitely be a word thrown out there. And it's the thing that I can't get over is, if you're as the 49ers, like, you're not paying your quarterback, and you don't, like, when you have the advantage of having a quarterback on a rookie scale contract, and especially the contract that Brock Purdy's on, being Mr. Irrelevant. I mean, the advantage is you get to pay other guys at other positions. And if you're not going to pay Nick Bosa, what are you doing? Like, that's the piece that matters more than maybe any other one. If you're not going to pay that guy, I just don't know how you can really be taken seriously.
Let me take the other side of it. And you're right. I agree with you. But hey, we're offering him more than $30 million a year.
Yeah.
Okay. We're willing to pay him.
Yeah.
We can't give him whatever he wants. We can't keep our team together.
That is a point that I would agree with, honestly. Like, I do see both sides of this, because $35 million is a lot of money. I think that's what's been rumored, that Bosa is asking for, is $35 million. Like, that does seem like, it's a tough pill to swallow. Like, Aaron Donald, I believe his contract is at $31.5 million. That was already a question of, is Bosa even going to get that? I mean, I think TJ Watt's at 28 and Aaron Donald being at 31, it was kind of suspected that it would be,
yes, sir.
Exactly. It would be suspected that it would be maybe less than Aaron Donald, but more in guarantees or something like that. But for it to be a contract that's just straight up more, I mean, $3 million, $4 million more than what they're paying Aaron Donald, that's where it is. I kind of understand the 49ers trepidation, but at the same time, like, they're trying to win a Super Bowl,
right,
and Nick Bosa is incredibly important. So if you would pay a quarterback $35 million, I kind of feel like Nick Bosa is truly that important to this team that you could justify paying him that.
You played to win the games. You have a chance to win the Super Bowl this year. You pay him. If it doesn't work out for whatever reason, you figure that out. But this doesn't work either.
Right.
If he's not there, if he's not playing, that's not working either.
Right.
You're not
100%.
really gaining anything by doing that either.
Yeah, I think that's really the toughest thing. And the thing I was thinking about a lot yesterday is it's like the 49ers, just their entire offseason has been so strange, because it's kind of been this push and pull of the 49ers look like a mess from the outside looking in, but the counter has always been, but the team is ready to succeed right now. And so how can both be true at the same time? And it's so, I think that's what's most alarming to 49ers fans is just the fact that it's one thing to be good, but to be a good organization is a lot more valuable. And I think right now they look like a bad organization. That's just kind of, I mean, it's almost like the Phoenix Suns. Like the Phoenix Suns were able to reach a championship, but still have Robert Sarver as their owner. It's almost like the 49ers are doing a similar thing where, yes, they have a ready to win team right now, but the way they're handling their business is that of which that looks like one of the worst teams in the NFL.
I think the reason they've gotten away with some of that in the past is because when it comes down to it, they have great players who have been willing and able, I should say, to compartmentalize to the point where they realize we're playing football now. Even Jimmy Garoppolo, for all his drawbacks, but for everything that went on, all the drama, when it came down to it, he was playing football.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about Bosa. I mean, if he's literally not playing, that's obviously a problem.
Right.
But you wonder also Kittle is hurt. I wonder if perhaps what's going on with Bosa might in some ways upset the delicate chemistry of this team, because the chemistry and the culture is built on no matter what, we're going to try to win.
Right.
But if you got a guy that's out to get his, and that's professional sports, yeah, you can't blame him. But I wonder if that doesn't start to tinker a little bit, put a little crack in the foundation. I don't think so, but I think it's possible. And they just really need to get all these little loose ends cleaned up ASAP.
Yeah, well, and especially, I mean, all that stuff, all that noise comes to a head if the 49ers start losing football games. Like you're mentioning the chemistry, like, again, Nick Bosa is asking for a whole lot of money. And I could see some of the people on the team being like, look, man, like they're not offering you pennies. Like, it's not like they're really being disrespectful with their offer. They're still offering you, I believe, 30 plus million is still what the 49ers have offered. Like, yeah, if you want to win, if you want to be a part of this team, especially moving forward, you're hurting us right now. And I do wonder when that conversation kind of starts to seep into the locker room, because I think that's when things really, it's one thing for reporters and fans and everybody out on the outside of the team to be talking about this.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's all just noise.
Chatter.
But once you start losing games and, guys start nudging elbows in the locker room saying, hey man, like, can you believe Nick's really like it's the season's like we just lost to Pittsburgh. Like, is he really not going to show up all year? Like, once that happens and guys start talking and the team could start spiraling. I just think it's a dangerous formula that they're playing with. And this is, and I've been saying things don't have to be this hard, but it just seems like at every single turn, the 49ers have just made this entire run, this entire Shanahan era has just been a lot harder than what it needed to be.
They still do have a lot of wiggle room here to sort this out. I don't remember exactly the year, but Emmitt Smith with the Cowboys was holding out and he won a lot of money and they wouldn't give it to him. And he held out for 2 games and they lost both games.
Yeah.
And I remember it was like, oh my goodness. Then he came back and they won another Super. So yeah,
I mean, it's
plenty of runway here
right.
for them.
Yeah, it's not over yet, and
it's starting to get more than just a little uncomfortable.
It just gets tense, and like the 49ers schedule makes me nervous. At least, like I've looked at it a couple different times, and I just think they kind of don't have the luxury of losing a ton of games that they should win. Like, I mean, Pittsburgh is a game that if the 49ers are at full strength, they should be able to pull out. Week 2, I believe, is against the Rams. They should be able to win that. But then after that, it's like Cleveland and the Giants, and you have the Jaguars. You play the Bengals. You play just tons of really tough teams in the middle of the schedule where you just can't afford to get off on the wrong foot. And the 49ers have a recent history of starting off slow. I just don't know if their schedule is gonna play to that. Like, I think that they would definitely be in their best interest to start off well.
We're coming right back with 2 very important things. 1, the former 49er who says this finally is the year. And 2, why did Chris say what he said yesterday about pie?
Oh gosh, this again.
It's next year. Don't miss it. Whitey and Watkins.
Wet Blanket Wednesday.
Sactown Sports.
The first ever NBA in-season tournament schedule is out, and our Kings have some great matchups, including national TV games against the Spurs and Warriors.
And Sacramento has won. They have risen to the occasion. And let me tell you, if you can't sense it, this place is absolutely nuts.
Listen to every game on the home of the Kings, Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Come out to the Marysville Stampede September 16th and 17th at the Cotton Rosser Arena. Get your tickets at MarysvilleStampede.com.
This is the Silver and Black Report, brought to you by ACR Solar and Home Services. How do you compete in a division where you have the least decorated quarterback and the coach with the fewest wins amongst the group? Well, the Silver and Black will attack it with some high-level talent. The 13th annual Top 100 Players is voted by the players, featured 3 members of the Silver and Black, and the rankings were impressive. Max Crosby landed at 17, wideout Devontae Adams 13, and running back Josh Jacobs at 12. It will take more than these 3 to rack up wins, but this team did make the playoffs in 2021. That's your Silver and Black Report, brought to you by ACR Solar. Summer is so great for many things, but it's also a great time to get your home evaluated for solar. And while you're at it, make sure that roof on your house, it's in good shape. ACR Solar and Home Services would love to meet you and show you the kind of quality you can expect from ACR. I went to ACR Solar and I could not be happier with the work that they did on our roof. So go to acrsolar.com and start your savings today. ACR Solar and Home Services, quality, value, and integrity since 1979.
Check out Whitey and Watkins now on YouTube. Search Sactown Sports and watch the show from your desk.
Got an urgent text yesterday from Chris Verlaud. Hello, Chris Verlaud. What jersey is that you have on today? Pardon my ignorance.
Manchester City, Julian Alvarez.
Thank you.
Is that a new kid?
I've had it for a bit.
Okay. So they're
Remember
not
when I
wearing that
came
this
by
year?
your desk and I'm just like, I kept on wearing different jerseys?
Yes.
This is one of them.
It looks ugly. I hate it.
You don't like it?
No, it's terrible.
I think it's very striking.
Thank
terrible.
you.
Yeah.
very
very
striping.
Striping, very
Yeah,
good.
because there's stripes on it.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Hey, break it up.
Hate that. Hate that jersey. Hate that team so
Break
much.
it up.
Hate that
Anyway,
team.
urgent text from Chris Verlaud says Watkins doesn't like pie.
He did text it like immediately
Yeah,
to the group.
but thank
like,
goodness.
The second I said it.
As
It's like-
he was explaining why he hated pie, I text both of you. Chris said he hates pie.
and Chris also had an issue with my not my logic, but the specificity of what I consider pie.
What was this a bit you're doing? Because obviously you don't hate pie.
No, I hate
So
pie.
blank this guy is.
I just, it was.
It cannot be.
I think it started because we were talking about like,
It was pizza.
oh, it was. I don't even know how we got there. Then I think it was just like I was saying like I don't like warm fruit, and then that kind of got into like a
It
syrup
was. He said he didn't like
conversation.
pineapple on his pizza.
Oh, okay.
And then you said like you don't like any warm fruit,
yeah,
and that's why you don't like pie.
maybe that's what it was. Yeah, and
Then
Yeah,
you
I
listened
mean-
to pies that he did like.
he just went through pies and he was like, so you don't like cherry pie, you don't like apple pie, you don't like, and I don't like any of those. But then he was like chocolate silk pie, and I was like, well, yeah, I like chocolate silk pie, but I wouldn't consider that necessarily pie because, in my opinion, like it's got to be like, I guess there's fruit pies and then there's,
okay.
I don't know. I just wouldn't consider. It's more of like a pudding. I guess it's a pudding pie, but I don't know. I just
So in your mind, if it's a true pie,
yes,
honest to goodness pie, it's got fruit in it.
it's got fruit in it.
And
yeah.
if it's a pie that you bake, that means the fruit is warm, and
I'm
just-
out. Yes,
you don't
Just
want any
blank
part
it
of
out.
it.
Yeah,
And this
no.
is where I have a real big problem with
Yes,
it. If you say that you don't like something, then you can't have rules about that thing, correct?
I mean, there's
You can't say,
nuance
"Oh,
in
that's not a
everything.
pie." I hate pies, but that's not a pie, which I'm eating.
Here's a
I
pie
would
you
say
like. Yeah, but
90
that's not
okay.
really a pie.
95% of pies I don't like. That's what I would say. Sorry for using an all encapsulating don't like pie when
You
it's
don't
like,
like pie, any fruit pie.
yes, no fruit pies, and even like pecan pie is
Pumpkin
like
pie.
no
Okay.
pumpkin pie. I try it every
Sweet
year at
potato
Thanksgiving.
pie.
Sweet, absolutely not. Don't like
Oh,
sweet
what about
potatoes.
cobblers? Oh, I guess you don't like warm fruit.
Nope, no cobblers for me.
Jason Ross's wife, Alva, makes an incredible peach cobbler.
Really?
Yes. With ice cream. Oh, it's incredible.
See, I can do the ice cream.
I might be plugging this just in case she's listening and wants to send some in.
More for us.
yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Interesting.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm
So
I'm
you're not
out.
even denying it. This is
No,
true. This
no,
all
I
actually,
don't like pie. Like, and it's not even like the crust is great. That's no problem. It's just the fruit portion of it. It's just I just not a fan.
Mhm.
Texture and like the taste of it. I'm out. I'm out on warm fruit. Sorry, my bad. Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
That's on me. I understand it's not normal. I feel
I
like
wouldn't say it's not normal. It's not typical. I mean, you're in a minority, but I'm sure there
Yeah.
are many other people that don't like pie.
yeah. And yeah, I mean it's more
There's
just
probably a club, a support group.
I mean, like, everybody loves pie, so of course Chris doesn't like it.
I mean, I don't like cake. I mean, I like cake, but not frosting, if that counts. I don't
Wait,
know.
do
if
you
that's
like
another-
cake or not? Because you kind
I
of,
mean, it's tough. Like,
back
I like
immediately.
the cake portion, but like, I mean, obviously, like, how many cakes come without frosting? So it's like,
You like cake, just don't put anything in between the layers or on top of it.
see, now you're really gonna get upset. I actually don't mind it in the filling, but like when it's just lathered on top, that's where it's just like
Sure,
it's a
of
little bit
course.
too much. It's excessive. Like if I get a cupcake, I'm just gonna cut off the frosting
Right.
and I'll probably just eat the cake.
Right.
Why are you the way that you are?
I don't know, man. I try to not be, but I just
Jack,
I
so
just
you're
kind of
telling
am.
me you don't like a warm slice of apple pie with a scoop of vanilla ice cream on top.
I like vanilla ice cream on top.
Madness.
I like vanilla ice cream on top.
Mm.
But chicken pot
Okay.
pie, I don't know. Does that count as a pie?
It's literally called a pie because it's pie.
That's what I told you yesterday. I'm like,
All right, see.
pie is a crust with filling inside. That's what it is.
All right, see, no, but this is almost like is a hot dog a sandwich for me?
No, it's
No,
not.
Because it's like
A pie. if
literally
it's
called a pie.
It's pie. There's a reason they call it a pie. It's a pie.
was a burger a sandwich?
I don't know, and I don't care. And I'm
This
not
is- I
wandering
mean,
down
like-
that rabbit hole with you.
No,
Nice
it's more
try.
like saying, is a burger a burger?
Yes, exactly.
Well, if you put pickles on it, it's not a burger anymore.
I hate you guys. I you know what? I can't wait to hang out with my guy Gary Sharp. That's how I'm feeling right now.
It only took 20 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. I'm done. I'm done. Put me back on the afternoons. This is horrible. I'm being bullied
All right.
for my views.
You don't care for many pies. Do you care for Richard Sherman's take on the 49ers?
Probably not, but let's hear it.
I think the Niners finally find a way to get it done this time.
Wow.
He said on his podcast.
Of course.
Brock Purdy has not lost a game that he has started and finished to this day. They need to get Nicholas John Bosa signed immediately.
Oh.
But unless, he says, Nicholas John Bosa?
Wow.
Unless
Bad
something crazy
energy.
and drastic happens with that situation, I expect their defense to be really strong with the addition of Javon Hargrave from the Philadelphia Eagles. And he mentions Warner, Hufanga, Lenore on one side, Ward on the other. Defensively, they're going to be really solid. Richard Sherman says this is finally the year the 49ers win a Super Bowl. They will eat from that victory pie at long last.
They can have it all to themselves. I sure. I mean, like I think, you know, they clearly have the talent. Like that's never really been the question. I think, you know, they're individual skill players. Like I think they have the most you know, individual skill players in the NFL that are, you know, at a high quality. It's just, you know, they got to put it together. And I think Brock is definitely a big piece of it, but I can't say that they're the favorites right now. Like I could see it happening, sure, but
Would you say they're one of?
yeah, absolutely. I would say
Like,
they're one of the five.
teams
Yeah,
that probably has the best
I
chance.
would say so. Yes. And and I guess at the end of the day, especially at this point in the season, like that's really all you can ask for is to be in that conversation.
Would you say they and the Eagles are head and shoulders above
Yeah.
the rest?
especially
Summer,
in the NFC?
I
yeah.
mentioned that SI.com, panelists weighing in with
Yeah.
their predictions. Some are saying Dallas, which I don't see. I mean, it
No.
wouldn't be. I think
I think
you may
they'll
have
be
even said-
competitive.
Yeah,
but
it wouldn't
yeah.
be the biggest stunner in the world, but I
Right.
still think Philadelphia and the 49ers are
in the NFC, especially.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say like
Notch or two
if we were to
above.
give it the 5, it's those two in the NFC, and then Cincinnati, Buffalo, and KC have to be the favorites in the AFC as well. So I mean, I would say those 5 definitely are the outstanding favorites at the moment. But you know, I would also probably put the Niners more towards closer to 5 than I would to
Mhm.
1.
This could be emotional and therefore meaningless, but it just seems to me, and we saw this with the 49ers to a degree a couple years ago. during the pandemic. Sometimes when things aren't going well like this, and it's one thing after another, it seems to kind of snowball. And all of a sudden, you're a couple games in, and all of a sudden you realize, man, nothing has gone right, and we're not where we thought we would be.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's why
it feels like there's danger to that, but I don't know if that's just emotion or if that actually makes any real sense.
Yeah. I mean, I think that it's kind of one of those things that, who knows if that's like an actual thing or if it's just something that we always have to look for a reason why. If the Niners start off the season 4-0, what are we going to say then? It's just, I guess none of that stuff like
you have a kicker that
it's all just building the narrative.
You don't even know if he can kick.
Sure.
And then
That's
you
a
don't have
problem.
Bosa. I mean, those are not ideal. And
No.
Kittle also
Right.
being hurt. Those are not ideal circumstances
Less
under which
than
to
ideal,
begin
for sure.
an important season.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's why there has been so much concern around what's going on in San Francisco. I mean, again, the skill players that they have are some of the best in the NFL. And, if you were just looking on paper, there's no reason to not say that the 49ers are a top 3 favorite in the NFL. But I just think all of the outside noise and all the outside questions, whether they be noise or legitimate, like there is some level of legitimacy to it. Like I do think that you point out all those things. Like I think that all that stuff really matters. Like those aren't just talking points that people are coming up with to try and talk about this team. Those are all very, very real concerns.
Watkins likes cinnamon rolls. That's from Manny Too Legit.
Yes.
Did
Actually,
you say that yesterday?
That is how the conversation started.
Okay, yeah, because Pike 916 is correct. So it sounds like these people know that.
Yes. No, yeah. So, my girlfriend for my birthday last year made me cinnamon rolls, and I didn't like I had to tell her I didn't like it because it had lemon zest in it.
What did you give her for her birthday this year?
A book that was the wrong book.
Oh, you went and bought a book that was.
I did not buy the book. I printed the book out here, and it took a long time. It was like 300 pages, and it was the wrong book. So she's better than I am. I don't know what you want me to say.
Yes, I think we can all agree on that.
She's a lot better of a person than I am. And she didn't even tell me either. Like
then you got her the right book though, right? You made it right.
She's a lot better than I am. That's what I'll say. Sorry. My bad.
I need a timeout.
That's on me.
Be right back.
That's on me.
How many Raider fans remain around here next year with Whitey and Watkins on Sactown Sports?
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Who do they decide on for the Super Bowl?
What do you mean, halftime act?
Yeah. I know that Taylor Swift.
Yeah, turned them down, right?
At what point do people turn on Taylor Swift and be like, why don't you lower your prices? And I understand the whole Ticketmaster thing, but what about the merch? Like, legit, do you have to make $1 billion? Could you make 500 million? Could you?
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross. Weekday mornings from 6 to 10 on Sactown Sports.
I suffered with plantar fasciitis for almost 20 years.
I thought that foot pain was going to be with me for the rest of my life.
If you suffer with plantar fasciitis, the search for pain relief can feel like an endless and hopeless ordeal.
I would try drugstore, insoles and supports.
I've been through surgeries, foot injections.
I was trying all different things. Not a single one worked.
If you think you've tried everything to relieve your foot pain, you probably haven't tried arch supports from the Good Feet store.
And then I was driving past the Good Feet store, and I thought, why not? Give it a try. They wanted to make sure that they gave me the right arch support for my feet. Then it was like, okay, this is different. These make a difference.
I don't have foot pain anymore. I'm so glad I met Good Feet. It changed my life.
See how Good Feet arch supports work for you before you buy with a free fitting and test walk at the Good Feet store.
The Good Feet store. Come in now for a free arch support fitting and test walk.
At aimyourdigital.com, we'll help you find the right customers. Spread awareness of your product or services. We can help build trust in your brand and services with a digital marketing campaign. increase leads, and get more customers. We create tailored digital marketing campaigns that deliver results. Don't wait. Get started today. Contact aimyourdigital.com. That's aimyourdigital.com and start seeing results.
Celebrate the crowning of the NTT IndyCar Series champion at the season finale Firestone Grand Prix of Monterey at WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca, September 8th through 10th. International athletes hitting 180 miles per hour as they roar by. Experience autograph sessions, Ferris wheel, go-karts, and delicious Monterey cuisine. And don't miss IndyCars descending the famous corkscrew at astounding speed and accuracy. Tickets are on sale now at WeatherTechRaceway.com. Don't miss IndyCar racing and the season finale September 8th through 10th. It's the fastest action in America.
Get ready for a night with Cole Swindown. 2023 ACM Song of the Year winner hits Hard Health Park at Cal Expo in Sacramento. Saturday, September 9th for the CITP2 Fest. And Cole's bringing some friends like Chris Chanson, Dylan Scott, Matt Stell, and more. Tickets start at $40 at CITPFest.com.
Sactown Sports
Headlines.
I'm Chris Rolado with your Sactown Sports headlines. We are just a day away from the opening of the NFL and 4 days away from the Niners opening up the season in Pittsburgh against the Steelers. As of right now, the Niners have not come to an agreement with star defensive end Nick Bosa. For more on the Bosa-Niners negotiation, make sure to check out Sactown Sports 49er insider Emil Fregosa's report on SactownSports.com. This morning, Team Canada advanced to the FIBA World Cup semifinals with a 189 win over Slovenia. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was the leading scorer with 31 points. He also had 10 rebounds and 4 assists. Luka Doncic was the leading scorer for Slovenia with 26, but that left the big man unsatisfied with the loss. In about a half hour, we will be having Deuce Mason from the Deuce and Mo podcast. But right now, your Sacramento State Hornets kick off the 2023 football season this Saturday, September 9th. Kickoff is at 7 p.m. Get your tickets at hornetsports.com. Fingers up. Those are your headlines. Now let's get back to Whitey and Watkins.
I do have one thing to say about pie, and then we can move on. It's okay. But just talking about all the pies reminded me of an issue I have with one place and their quote-unquote pies. And it's a really nice place, and I go there a lot. I don't want to say the name of it because I go there a lot.
Okay.
But my wife is a big fan of the chicken pot pies, and we go to this place sometimes. She gets chicken pot pie. And what it is, it's like a foil, what would that be, like a little foil pie pan, and then it has the contents, and then it has just the crust over the top. So there is no pie crust all the way underneath. And to me, it's like, that's not a pie.
Right.
So the crust is just on top?
Exactly right, sir. And to me,
no,
that's not a pie. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. And it drives me nuts. It's like, they can't, if you like it, great. And she likes it, but you can't, that's not a pie.
How do you even serve that? Like, how do you cut it up into pieces?
You don't. You just like individual serve. That's a good question.
Gotcha.
But it's an individual serve one.
So that's not a pie?
No.
Just because it doesn't have the bottom layer.
Because it doesn't have the crust that you need.
But what about the top? What would you consider the top? Like you said that there's still baked material on top. What would you call that? Was that not considered crust?
Let me take this hydro flask. If I give you the top, do you have a hydro flask?
Yes.
No, you don't. You have the top. I have the hydro flask.
I don't. No, I'm not seeing. So
just to put a pie top on top of a pan doesn't make it a pie.
But is that still not considered crust?
Yeah, but you need the crust all the way around. The pie has to be sealed by the crust.
I was just told that what makes it a pie is crust and filling. And there is crust and filling in that. It's just not a base layer of crust.
It's an incomplete crust job.
Yeah.
ICJ.
I think it's
ICJ.
The equivalent of like saying like, oh, you were talking about cupcakes. So you take the frosting off. That feels like it's just frosting. Like if you just got, here you go, here's your cupcake. And you're like, no, this is just frosting. Where's the rest of it? No, this is a cupcake.
Yeah, like, you know the famous Seinfeld with the muffin tops. If I give you the muffin
top of the muffin to you.
Yeah, you don't have the muffin. You have the top of the muffin.
I don't like this. I don't like how this has been turned on me.
It's pretty clear. I know I wanted to get to the Raiders. I would like at some point to find out how many Raider fans are in the area still. I think it's a lot.
There's a
Before we
good
get
amount for sure.
Yeah, I think so. Before we get to that, though, Christopher Laud mentioned FIBA World Cup and some interesting goings on there. We have Canada now is going to play Serbia, right? Yes. And we have the USA is going to play Germany.
Yes.
That's our Final Four.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. So Canada defeated Slovenia.
Shout out Jordi Fernandez. Yes, they did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Chris's favorite player was
Luka was not too happy about
form.
that.
Yeah, he was in prime form. He got kicked out in the fourth quarter. Of course, I think his team had pretty much lost at that point. But in typical Luka fashion, he did complain to the referees, and it got
Call the ambulance.
Yeah, it was a classic. I mean, it was really Dylan Brooks also got kicked out of the game for talking to some of the Slovenia players. So everybody was definitely on brand.
Was
for,
Dylan
for
Brooks doing his brand of personal thuggery on Luka? Was that part of it?
No, it wasn't directly onto Luka. I did see him do a very cringe thing in the tunnel. I think at halftime, their team mantra is send body blows, and so Dylan was
That's
sitting.
not very Canadian.
It was very strange, and it's not very Canadian at all. And so Dylan Brooks was
hockey, so maybe
yeah, I guess a little bit. Their fighting is kind of baked into their culture a little bit. So he was just standing in the tunnel with boxing gloves on, and as everyone ran by, he punched them in the gut. It was pretty cringy. It
worked
pretty terrible. I guess can't knock it, but it was a masterclass in who both of those two guys are.
Well, this is great because we probably will end up with USA versus Canada in the final. Do we have the Luka comments, by the way?
Oh,
yeah, here's
goodness.
Luka didn't feel that the officiating was very fair in this game.
The referee told one of the guys, we're not going to call a foul on him because he's coming at us. I think this is not fair. I know I complain a lot, but I don't think it's fair. The referee.
I didn't even understand. What did he say? Somebody said, you're not going to come after? I didn't understand.
All I heard
he
was
said that the referee was calling fouls because they were coming after us.
Oh, so he's implying the world's against him.
Could you play one more time, please? I'm sorry. Thank you. One more time, Luka.
The referee told one of the guys, we're not going to call a foul on him because he's coming at us. I think this is not fair. I know I complain a lot, but I don't think it's fair.
When he says him coming at us, he's talking about Dylan Brooks. So Dylan Brooks got ejected because he hit a three in one of the guy's face and then essentially started talking trash to him. And as we've established on this program, the Europeans really don't get with the trash talking portion of NBA basketball. And so Luka's point was essentially how are you not going to throw that guy out for talking to us? But then I ask for a foul once and you're going to kick me out.
Call the ambulance.
I understand the disappointment, but that's not a bad finish for them, is it?
I
Slovenia.
don't think so. Yeah, I mean they're pretty it's Luka deep pretty much for Slovenia. They used to have Goran Dragic. I think now they're down to his brother Zoran, and he's really the only person with NBA experience besides Luka on that team. So I would consider that a win for a pretty small country and a country that also doesn't have many, if any, NBA players besides Luka.
So there's a pretty decent former Kings flavor to the Final Four because Serbia has Bogey,
right?
Jordi Fernandez coaching Canada, and then we have Halliburton playing on Team USA.
Yeah,
Germany.
exactly.
I can't think of a connection, but
they almost had Franz Wagner if he would have fallen, and I guess the Warriors passed on him also, and they didn't take Davion. So I guess there's that.
He's practically a former King.
I think I'm rooting for Team Canada the most just because of the Jordy connection. And that's the only true direct at the moment Kings connection. But I also wouldn't be upset. If Team USA is going to fall, it's okay for me to be to Serbia.
Okay. Did you kind of just say there you're not really rooting for USA? Because I was yesterday asking if I can root for Germany.
Yeah.
Christopher Laud and J Mars both told me, well, no, you have to root for the USA. You can root for Germany if.
To be fair, I said you can be neutral for Germany and USA.
I mean, Germany's going to lose. They're going to lose. I know they
not so fast. Are we sure?
Yeah, I mean, I know they played.
They're 6-0. They're the only team that hasn't lost this entire tournament. They're playing pretty well.
They're big.
Dennis Schroeder's playing like he's Magic Johnson these days.
Did you see what he did today?
I did not. No.
He took 26 shots, and they won. They won.
That's incredible. Dennis is living his best life.
How many do you think he made?
He said 26. No, there's no way. There's no way your hands are.
He was 4 for 26
no,
today.
There's no way.
Yes.
There's no way.
Dennis Schroeder was 4 for 26.
Are you sure that's not Dylan Brooks?
He missed all 8 of his 3-pointers. And then after the game, they were all like, hey, it's okay, buddy. He was terrible. And I like him.
Yeah. Did you see? There was a clip too of like the Germany coach trying to get him in the huddle. And he was like, sit down, sit the heck down. And Schroeder was like, no, I'm not doing that. Like, I'm not. No, like, he's like, don't yell at me like that.
He actually said 9.
I don't think he did. But I was just like, I mean, that compounded with those stats tell me that Dennis is just on a mission on his own right now, apparently. Like, I mean, they have probably next to US the most NBA players on their team. They have Daniel Tice. They've got both of the Wagners. I think they also have Brezdankis, who I think had a cup of coffee in the NBA. I'm not entirely certain that Team USA is gonna just walk through Germany. I'm not sure.
I think they'll beat him. If Schroeder goes 4 for 26 again, I like USA's
That's
chance.
Pretty good chance.
I know what you mean. But I had to look at the numbers. Wait, he went what?
There's no way. 4 of 26. I still am going to double check. Are you sure it's not 14 of 26?
It's not. It's
How do you
4,
not just pull somebody at that point?
Or just you get like your 4 for 19 and maybe you go, yeah, it's not my day.
Not my day at all. I mean, again, no math whiz, but that percentage is not great.
Unless I get a layup, I don't think I'm going to pull the trigger again.
Maybe they were all layups. And that's not great. Not great.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. I am at some point here, we're going to look a little bit more into how many people out there are Raider fans. This used to be a Raider station. Sactown Sports used to carry the Raiders. The Oakland
we
Raiders.
did. That's right. Yeah, I forgot about that. Like 2 years ago. We used to carry them. Yeah.
To me, the Raiders are they're dead to me once they left. But I respect fans who it's still your team. I get that. But to me, I hope they lose every game after they left Oakland. But I'm just wondering, to what extent are they even close to being a home team still? How many Raider fans are still around?
I think there's a lot. I really do think that there's a good amount. I think that a lot of people I think the Raiders truly are a brand. Like, I think a lot of teams want to say they're a brand, but I don't really think it matters where the Raiders go. I think their fans will follow them anyway. I don't think they lost many fans with their move.
That's what Mark Davis said, actually, when they were moving. He said, our brand is going to still be strong.
Yeah, and football's not baseball. Like, it's 8 games, and it's really not that big of a chore to go out to Vegas. Like, how many Raider games would people in Sacramento go to? Maybe some would have season tickets, but I feel like for the most part, people went to 2 or 3 games a year, and you can still do that in Vegas.
Speaking of baseball, you just mentioned baseball.
Yes.
I have one number here that explains all you need to know about the Giants free fall. And even if you're not a baseball fan, this is an amazing number. It's next year. Whitey and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Will Christian McCaffrey lead the NFL in rushing? Can Sacramento's own Eric Armstead bring his game to another level?
Prescott back steps up in the pocket. He gets sacked. Back on the 15-yard line. Get in my belly. Says Eric Armstead.
Will rookie Jake Moody pick up where veteran kicker Robbie Gould left off? Find out on Whitey and Watkins every day at 11 a.m. during the 49ers Focus on Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
All new spring deals are here at Lowe's. Start planting your garden this weekend with Bonnie 11.8-ounce vegetables. Buy 4 for $10. Plus, liven up your patios and decks with fresh blooms. Select 1.5-gallon hanging baskets or 2 for $20. Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows home improvement. Offers valid through 5/17. In-store only. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. While supplies last, excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
At Ashton & Price, we get injury victims to yes. Experience, yes. Ashton & Price has been around for over 25 years. No more insurance companies? Yes. Our clients focus on getting better, and we handle all the rest. Results? Yes. We've collected over $100 million for injury victims. No fee until we win? Yes. Our clients pay nothing until we win. Ashton and Price, the best at getting to yes. Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Ron had a tax problem he just couldn't handle on his own.
I owed the IRS taxes for over 5 years, but I didn't have any money to pay the taxes.
Those years cost him dearly.
Most of it was fees and interest. It was horrible.
Ron finally called in the pros.
I called Optima Tax Relief, and boy, am I happy I did.
The leading tax resolution firm, Optima, is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau. They've resolved over $1 billion for their clients. Ron was overjoyed.
They settled my account with IRS. I was ecstatic. They are a lifesaver. They are. I am so happy.
Take Ron's advice and call Optima now for a free consultation.
Yeah, don't do like I did and wait. Call Optima Tax Relief. Do it now. You'll be ecstatic like me.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for my good friends at Fire Wings with some bullet points for you to remember so you can be a professional fire wing eater. Like Wings Day Wednesday, 88-cent wings each and every Wednesday. 3 flavor lineup includes 7 classic wing flavors, 7 dry rub wing flavors, 7 fusion wing flavors. It's the perfect fast casual eating establishment for the entire family. Go to firewings.com or download the app, find a location near you, order online, earn rewards. Fire Wings, just wing it.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit Revive Men's Health.
Listen to Whitey and Watkins on your smartphone.
Raider fans checking in on the YouTube chat. James Knight says Raider fan here. Tribe says Raiders going on 40 years. 30 years for us. Rams own California.
Trying to figure that one out.
I know. I thought I knew what it meant, and then I read it and I realized wait,
Raiders
what?
going on 40 years.
30 years for us. Rams own California. Anyway,
that's a
thank
confusing
you.
one.
Could that possibly mean I'm a Raiders fan? That's what I thought I meant at first. Yeah,
I thought it was Raiders fan going. Whatever.
Yeah.
Point is, I
Thank
do
you,
think-
Tribe. I'm going to assume you mean you're a
Thank
Raider fan. If
Oh,
I'm wrong.
you're loco, man.
Sorry. And Pike 916 says 9 is no, Chris.
No, I knew that.
Yeah,
I
he didn't think you knew that.
No, I definitely knew
It just
what
wasn't funny.
It just wasn't funny is essentially where I was getting at. I fully understood the joke. It just didn't make it any funnier.
Yeah, you heard the joke, and it's not my joke, and I'm sorry. It came to mind here. German bowling.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
What about it?
9. That's
instead of 10s.
Yeah, that's when you're.
Oh, like if you just get it.
German bowling today. Yeah, 9. Yeah.
That's at least that's kind of
not
funny.
my joke.
That's a good bowling joke, I
Right.
guess. You know, for
it is
yeah.
a top 25 bowling joke.
Yes, I would definitely say so. I think we can. It's a top 9 bowling joke.
Oh.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't great.
Speaking of numbers, the Giants are reeling, and I know it's like baseball, and a lot of people have already given up on baseball because, hey, it's almost football season. But this is amazing. I saw this number today. Of course, the Giants lost again to the Cubs, and Patrick Bailey now is in concussion protocol, or he's going to be. So the wild card teams here, you have the Phillies, the Cubs, and the Reds. Then you have Miami as half a game out of the final wild card. Arizona is a game out. The Giants are now 2 out of the final wild card, 70 wins and 69 losses. 70 wins and 69 losses. What happened? There's one number that explains what's going on.
What's that?
Runs scored since June 25th in Major League Baseball.
This feels bad. Okay.
At the very top, you have the Atlanta Braves with 368.
Whew. I mean, it makes
And
sense.
the
They're
Braves are
best team.
phenomenal. You have near the bottom the Oakland A's at 230 since June 25th.
Okay.
The A's are not last
The fact
on
that
this
you
list.
said near the bottom and we haven't gotten to the Giants yet, little concerning.
Runs scored since June 25th. Number 1, Atlanta, 368. At the very bottom, the Giants with 200.
And you said the A's have
230.
Are the A's like 26? Like, is that the difference from 29 to 30? Are the A's at 29?
Yeah.
Oh
Because the
my goodness.
Yankees are at 248, White Sox 246,
Oh my
Miami
goodness.
245, Arizona 239, Oakland 230, and then
Oh my goodness.
San Francisco Giants 200
They're 30 runs less than the Oakland A's.
since June 25th.
Yeah, I mean, that seems like a problem. You can see how that would definitely lead to a lot of losses. And especially when I mean, the Giants were sitting pretty. They were at the number 1 wild card spot, and now they're hanging on for dear life. And, that's
They're on the outside looking in.
it's a surefire way to definitely get there is not scoring runs. And it's something that, at the deadline, it was kind of the thing, even to me as an incredible casual viewer, I was like, this feels like an area where the Giants should look to improve is their lineup. And they just kind of did a whole lot of nothing.
Pitching has been good to at times pretty good to good, sometimes very good. But when you don't score runs, when you don't score points or runs in a game, Chris, you can't win the game.
Yeah,
They scored a few last night. They still lost.
Unless you're
to the Cubs, who are
ridiculous defensive
75 and 64.
Giants got off to a great start too. Yeah, I was watching that game as the show was going on. It's 3-0. Yeah, and they were
Wade Jr.
Boom before the score. Yeah, it was like literally the first pitch of the game. Lamont Wade sent out the yard, and then I mean, yeah, they just kind of crumbled.
So in some ways, the A season, as miserable as it's been on the field, the A season has been more interesting than the Giants season, because the Giants are
interesting, absolutely
flamed out, and just now you're watching them, and they're not going to make it, are they?
Right.
And the A's, of course, on the field, it's like but with everything else going on,
right. It kind of feels
more interesting.
Yeah, it does feel like another, in a way, and definitely an absolutely different way, but it does feel a little bit like the season where the Giants won over 100 games, and that kind of really set their expectations off. At least now it does seem like the Giants are going to probably end up near 500, hopefully on the right side of 500. But, it was almost like a little bit of fool's gold where you felt like the Giants really had a team going here this year, just with how successful they were. And then, I think now they're kind of ending up, it's kind of leveled out a little bit to where, they probably have played more like a 500 team, if not even worse than that.
So I think it's incumbent upon them this offseason to do something that's going to get their fan base energized.
Like Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah, but they ain't getting him, but they're going to have to make a run.
Sailed.
That's a tough one. How do you convince your fans we're doing everything we can to get him when we're not going to get him, so ultimately we're going to look bad?
Right, exactly.
How do you balance that? I think you just got to go all in and let the chips fall where they may, even though they're probably going to fall in Los Angeles.
Right. I mean, and that would be, that wouldn't be great.
Got to have a good plan B, I guess.
Do you think they kind of just need to lean into this rebuild? I mean, it does feel like they've used that competitive rebuilding thing for the past couple of years. Like, is this kind of a sign that maybe, I mean, you've already been playing a ton of young guys, just fully lean into that. And, for the next 2 or 3 years, I mean, just abandon all illusion of being a trying to win baseball game.
I think the scary thing from their standpoint is this has kind of been according to plan, obviously not this drastically where they can't score, but being a competitive team every year that doesn't have a high payroll, I think that's Farhan's job. That's what you're supposed to do. Hey, we were in it and we're pretty good and we made money. There you go. That's what we want. Of course, that's not what fans want, especially when in San Francisco, you got the 49ers and they compete for Super Bowls and the Warriors spend money, no matter what you think of the Warriors, they spend a lot of money. So when you have the Giants doing it that way up against the backdrop of those two teams, it's not a great look for them.
Right. No, I mean, definitely not. And they're suffering from others' success. And, the Giants have been carrying themselves like they are this pristine franchise after winning their 3 championships in 6 years. Like,
seems like so long.
It does. That's I was going to like that. That was almost 10 years ago at this point. And, I think that allure is kind of washed away. Like, I don't think that they're really going to be thought about, especially in the free agency market. I don't think they're really going to be thought about as one of the best teams or organizations that you can go to right now. I mean, it's still a beautiful ballpark and they still handle their business with a lot of class, but I don't think that, they're going to be at the front of mind of a lot of people heading into free agency.
What did you think of the A's new billboards?
the Doris get your kids, or get your kid. It's pretty great. Did you see that they popped up in Sacramento?
I heard that it did.
Yeah, very surprising. Yeah, it was off
right
99,
across the freeway from us.
Was it really?
Mm-hmm, by Cal Expo.
Oh wow! So I mean, I love it. I think it's
that surprised me. We have that many
That it
A's
was
fans
there?
here that they would.
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, Sacramento's definitely got a good helping of A's fans for sure. I think it's great. I mean, I think
It
the
is
sign
great.
is
I agree.
really, really funny, and it's definitely it hits. Like it's a good joke. It's
Mhm.
definitely a good joke. But,
Yeah, and there's one of the young A's, and I apologize, I forget which one. He's saying,
Oh,
"Hey, next year we're
Coleman
not going to
Fisher.
be so terrible." But
Okay,
you know,
I
that
guess.
they probably are. But I was thinking it's Lawrence Butler. He vows the A's won't be a laughingstock next season.
Oh,
Just think if the A's started to get better right before they left, how miserable that would
Whitey,
be.
why would you even say that?
Because he
That
said
is-
Lawrence
oh my
Butler.
gosh. That would be the worst. I mean, that would really be if you could somehow make this A's situation worse, it would be them getting kind of back to prominence right as they're about to leave. I mean, that would be the ultimate.
Doesn't look
slap in the
likely,
face.
but
I wouldn't think so. But you know what? If John Fisher is as evil as he's seemed, then that would be
stranger things have happened.
Yeah.
I'll give you an example. Yesterday, Deuce reached out to Christopher Lodge.
What?
Yeah, that actually happened.
Oh, that's a miracle.
That actually
Oh,
happened.
You should buy a lottery ticket. That is, oh my gosh.
Deuce Mason, De'Aaron Fox's new best friend, joins us next year.
Wait, what?
He's going to come on with us.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Someone should have told me that.
Whitey and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
It's Whitey and Watkins on Sactown Sports.
I like daffodils, tulips, the big dinner plate dahlias. I loved being in the garden, but I wasn't going to be able to because I could not only walk, but I couldn't really stand on my foot without being in pain. It was excruciating. So my husband said, let's go to the Good Feet store.
For over 20 years, we've helped people like Terry live the life they love without letting their feet get in the way.
This nice young man said, I think I can help you. He got the arch support and I was fitted. And I kept walking back and forth across the store. And I looked at my husband and burst into tears because it was the first time in a year that I have not had any pain in my foot. I have had no pain since the day I bought them. Now I can do whatever I want. There isn't any place on my property that doesn't have flowers blooming 365 days a year. I still can't believe it. My name is Terry, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
The Good Feet store. Come in now for a free arch support fitting and test walk.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find: happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too. Get an instant cash offer for your trade at FolsomLakeHonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Hi, it's Brian Bennett from Bennett's Restaurants in Roseville and Sacramento, and our newest restaurant, Bennett's West Side Grill at Rockland's Blue Oak Town Center on Lone Tree Boulevard. We believe in serving the freshest handcrafted foods in a warm, convivial setting. We have a fantastic happy hour featuring shareable plates, wine, priced from just $6. And get this, we feature happy hours 7 days a week, 2 to 6 p.m. So grab a friend and come in and have some fun. Bennett's Kitchen Bar Market, Eureka and Lit Hill Roads in Roseville, and Bennett's American Cooking on Fair Oaks and Howe in Sacramento. Speaking of our newest restaurant in Rockland, we feature live fire grilling over mesquite wood. We are smoking our own salmon, chicken, and cheese. You have to eat it to believe it. Want an iced seafood platter? West Coast oysters, Dungeness crab, wild Mexican prawns, Bering Sea, snow crab claws? Look no further than Bennett's West Side Grill. Find us on the web at bennettsrestaurants.com and book a reservation today. Eat well, stay well, and remember, Bennett's is where you'll always receive a hospitable welcome.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
If you're new to the game, here are a few etiquette mistakes to avoid. On the tee, if it's your turn to play, that should be your priority. Don't be totaling up your shots on the previous hole and marking your scorecard. There's plenty of time for that after you've hit. In the fairway, be ready to go. Know your yardages, wind conditions, and club you'll hit. When it's your turn, hit it and keep the game moving. When someone else is hitting, keep the noise to yourself. Don't be using a zipper on your golf bag, rummaging for a golf ball, or jangling coins in your pocket. Be sure to watch other players' shots. You'll find errant shots quicker, and you'll have a friend for life. Be careful with your shadows on the greens and tees. Late afternoon shadows are long, and your movements can be distracting. If faster players are behind you, invite them to play through. And while it's less of an issue with soft spikes, Be careful when walking across another player's putting line. They'll appreciate it and silently thank you. Above all, have fun. It's a game. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave here for American Energy Heating and Air. It's the end of summer blowout on all their systems. Right now, $2,500 off full systems, as low as $34 a week. And now American Energy Heating and Air offering a free Wi-Fi smart thermostat of your choice on high-efficiency units. Look, the uncomfortable becomes comfortable with American Energy Heating and Air. They've been around since 1981, making the greater Sacramento area proud with an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau. And as always, their goal is to exceed your expectations, exceed them of the heating and air industry, valuing the customer experience and making your home comfortable. It's that simple. Go to American Energy Heating and Air and get yourself a free Wi-Fi smart thermostat of your choice on high-efficiency units.
Call 916-520-9998 now.
Your three-time defending Big Sky Conference champions, the Sacramento State Hornets, are back at Hornet Stadium this Saturday, September 9th. It's Kids Day with fun for the whole family. And stick around after the game with post-game fireworks. Kickoff is at 7 p.m. Get your tickets now at hornetsports.com. Don't miss any of the action this year as the Hornets swarm the Big Sky in search of a fourth straight Big Sky championship. Get your tickets now at hornetsports.com. That's hornetsports.com. Stingers up.
Summertime and Rivercats baseball are the perfect pairing. The only thing missing is you. With weekly promotions, premium giveaway games, and unique theme nights, there's fun for everyone at Sutter Health Park. Stick around post-game every Friday and Saturday night as we light up the sky with the brightest fireworks in town. Visit rivercats.com to purchase tickets.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your new home for 49ers football in the 916.
Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
I'm Christopher Ladd with your Sactown Sports headlines. We're just a day away from the opening of the NFL and 4 days away from the Niners opening up the season in Pittsburgh against the Steelers. And as of right now, the Niners have not come to an agreement with star defensive end Nick Bosa. For more on the Bosa Niners negotiation, make sure to check out Sactown Sports 49er Insider, Emil Fregoso's report on SactownSports.com. This morning, Team Canada advanced to the FIBA World Cup semifinals with a 189 win over Slovenia. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was the leading scorer with 31 points. He also had 10 rebounds, 4 assists. Luka Doncic was the leading scorer for Slovenia with 26, but that left the big man unsatisfied with the loss. Your Sacramento State Hornets kick off the 2023 football season this Saturday, September 9th. Kickoff is at 7 p.m. Get your tickets at hornetsports.com. Stingers up. Those are your headlines, and now let's get back to Whitey and Watkins with our guest, Dave Deuce Mason, who's better than you, and you know it, from the Deuce of Mo podcast.
Chris, you ever do a show where you have a really big guest on and you get maybe a little nervous?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have to. This is nothing like that, but I was just it's a pleasure to have back with us in a while. Very busy making podcast history from the Deuce and Mo podcast. Dave Deuce Mason.
Hey.
How are you today, David?
Hi, Whitey. What is up, Chris Watkins? How you guys doing?
We're having
the issue.
Sorry.
Chris. We can't hear him.
Yeah, we cannot hear.
You know what Deuce loves is when there's technical issues and it's on our side. He's a huge fan of that.
Sorry, Deuce. Chris and I cannot hear you. Chris Verlaud can hear you. I have a feeling that our listeners can hear you as well.
Let me see.
So
maybe we can workshop this.
Last time we had this issue, we ended up with essentially double audio on.
Yeah.
Do we want to, like, I know Deuce is busy, but rather than have him sitting here, should we maybe reconvene and figure out what the problem is rather than waste Deuce's time and waste the listeners' time?
Or should we just go to the phones? I feel like the phones is the quickest.
Bring him on phone if that would
fix.
work as well. Because I know last time, we couldn't hear, and I heard that everyone else could hear, and it didn't sound good on the air. So please advise me, Chris Verlaud, what we want to do here. And okay, we're going to try to get Deuce. Sorry about that. Apologies to Deuce. Apologies to you, dear listener. We'll get him on with us as quickly as possible. Well, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, I know. We finally are able to reel him in and get him on the show, and then
because he's really like a YouTube star now.
Oh yeah,
he sucks on
he's
the
officially
radio.
a YouTuber now.
Yeah.
Like he's getting that YouTube money. You know, he's.
Hello, Deuce. How are you, sir?
Hey guys, what is up, Whitey and Chris?
Hey, good to have you on. Sorry about that. We apologize.
It's all good.
Yeah. I know everyone from Kevin John to Gary Gerald, everyone in between, has been seriously raving about Deuce and Mo and the podcast with the Foxes. Deuce, what can you share with us about how you guys set that up? Was it how long you've been working on bringing the Foxes into the Deuce and Mo podcast?
You know, Whitey, as you know, because we work together,
yeah.
Sometimes you just got to shoot your shot. You just don't know when it's going to happen. And there's so many times you put stuff out there, you don't get any responses or, hey, let's do it. And then nothing comes of it. And that's the worst. I had reached out and they responded right away with, let's do it. I'm like, oh, cool. All right. We can come to you or we could do it over Zoom. And they suggested, well, we could just come to you guys. I'm like, is this like the easiest thing? Why didn't I ask you guys a long time ago? This is the easiest thing ever. And so they agreed to do it on literally last Wednesday at this time. They agreed to do it.
Wow.
And we recorded on Friday. So it was like a whirlwind. It happened really fast.
Wow, that's incredible. I've never like heard De'Aaron be that loose before in a podcast. And it seemed like it really was because you guys were just kind of just talking hoop. It was really just four people in a room talking hoop. And I like, do you get the impression that the Foxes' lives are just kind of engulfed in basketball? I mean, I heard them say like they don't watch TV even except for the tennis channel, but do you feel like, I mean, it's just all basketball all the time with those two?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, obviously she played, and that's the other thing. Like, I wanted both of them on. It wasn't like I reached out to De'Aaron and it's like, well, he'll do it if Versailles on. It's like, no, I wanted both of them on because I knew one, she played at such a high level. I'm hearing Chris in the background. I don't know. That's so weird. Sorry. Anyway, I knew she played basketball at a high level, one, but she also had experience with the Warriors coaching staff and knew Mike Brown and Luke Laux. And she's at every game. Like, it'd be cool to have them both in. I knew having them both in, they would just be more comfortable with each other. And I felt like they kind of fed off of that. And I thought it made it for a really cool conversation.
Yeah.
Catching up with Deuce here, Deuce Mason. So Deuce, she played college at several colleges. De'Aaron Fox, of course, an all-star. I know Mo played at a high level. You were doing that pod with three actual basketball players. Did you feel left out?
I mean, I guess you're just forgetting about my legendary showdown with former NBA big man Rich Manning.
I tried
Rick
to.
Manning. I don't remember his name. That's how. I mean, it was just one of those things. Just dominated the guy. Yeah, you know what? I'm a student of the game. You know, how many coaches played in the league? Whitey, I know the game, right?
Yeah, I know. That was a joke between us.
I know.
How has becoming a father, how has that changed De'Aaron as a basketball player?
I feel like it's not just being a father. I think just his relationship, like just settling down. I mean, we forget these guys come to the NBA, they're like 18, 19 years old. Whitey, you knew me when I was like 18 or 19. I was a pretty dumb 18 or 19-year-old. And so you come to the NBA and it's like you get all this responsibility. You got to like grow up fast, and it takes time for some of these guys. And I just feel like De'Aaron Fox is just, hey, I'm 25, 26 years old. I'm married. I have a kid now. I'm just in a different phase of my life. And he's probably more comfortable in his skin. He's more comfortable as a player. And I think all those positive things happening in his life has led to him having success on the floor.
You've talked with both De'Aaron and Davion this offseason. Did you notice any commonalities in just how they're attacking this offseason and how they're talking about their team?
Yeah, I mean, I think what's interesting, I feel like they're all kind of on the same page. You know, it seems like we talk about every time when a coach takes over, it's always, hey, they got to change the culture. They're going to do this or that. I feel like Mike Brown has shifted things really fast to me. Like it just seems like the mindset, especially for guys like Davion and De'Aaron, who were here before Mike Brown, they saw a glimpse of what it was like before and losing and kind of the chaos maybe. And so now to have some structure and to all be on the same page, you can tell like they're fired up, ready to go. They're not fazed by anything. They've got confidence. And it's just cool to see, especially for a team that has been known for losing for the better part of, 16 years.
Deuce, when you and Mo were comparing notes after you finished this interview, and again, congratulations, everyone just raves about it. But no, seriously, everyone is just, man, this is the greatest thing.
Definitely.
Were there things that were said, or just the way the Foxes reacted where you said, wow, that kind of surprised me? What surprised you? What really stood out to you after you completed the interview?
I think what surprised me most was just how open and loose they were. And we kind of, like, when they showed up, we told them, like, hey, we just want this to be a conversation. You guys just chime in. We tried to take some pressure off. We didn't want them to feel like it was like a standard interview, like super uptight or anything. And I don't know, I guess they just bought into it. And we started talking, and it just surprised me. They were just telling stories. And once they kind of opened the door, it allowed us to go, oh, we can push a little more this direction. We can ask these questions. So obviously, like, everyone's talking about, oh, it's a great interview. Well, it's great because of them. Like, if they weren't willing to play ball, if they weren't willing to be open, then it would have just been another chat. And so, no, it was super cool. And it just gave me more confidence in kind of the direction of this team. It just feels like they're in a really good spot as a team and an organization. They've got a lot of, like, high IQ players, smart players, and they all work hard. And it just feels like the vibes are good.
Now, we just kind of went through a little bit of technical difficulties here on our end. You kind of went behind the scenes to start the video. How close was this interview to never seeing the light of day?
All right, it's so stupid. So I can't believe this happened. So we test everything ahead of time. We hit record early just to make sure everything's good. I don't know what happened. I still don't know what happened. We have a mixer that plugs into a computer, and when we hit record, it's supposed to record all the audio. I typically will hit a backup audio recording on this mixer just in case. I haven't been doing that recently. And as I showed in that video, I happened at last minute just hit record. If I didn't do that, we didn't have it, because I transferred the video over into the editing software and there was no audio whatsoever. And it scared me big time.
Yeah, sure.
Morgan did record it on her phone. So I guess worst case, we would have had some crappy phone audio.
Right.
But yeah, it was scary. Like, I came off the ultimate high of, I can't believe this just happened. We got to hear another say. It was amazing. And then I see no audio. I'm like, are you kidding? Like, what am I going to do? Like, what? You can't redo this.
Right.
So luckily I backed it up. Always back it up.
Yes. That's the lesson learned.
Deuce, Chris and I have been spending the last few weeks, we've been, among other things, we've been making bold Kings predictions. And you're going to be amazed because they're all going to come true, or almost all of them. Would you have a bold prediction about this Kings season based on anything De'Aaron told you or Davion or not? But would you be willing to share a Deuce Mason bold Kings prediction for the upcoming season with us right now?
They're going to be top 15 in defensive rating.
Whoa!
Wow.
Are you drunk?
I might be a little bit, but yeah. No, I think there's a shot. And I know they don't have all these lockdown individual defenders. I think they have smart players. I think they showed signs, especially against the Warriors, like, oh, they can ramp it up a little bit.
Yes.
I think the defensive rating on the road last year was 8th, which is weird. That's not a small sample size. There's something there. And I think another year with this coaching staff, another year playing together.
And JaVale McGee.
JaVale McGee in the house, blocking shots left and right. No, yeah, I think they're going to be good. I really think they're going to be improved in that area.
Awesome.
What do you think about just the way the Kings have kind of attacked that backup center spot or third string center spot this offseason? I mean, just bringing in everybody and their moms to try and just seemingly compete in an open competition.
And how close? Yeah, pardon me. How close were you to working out after your experiences against Rich Manning?
The Alex Len of pickup basketball.
Look, I know I'm undersized, but I think I could have provided something there. Yeah. I'm fine with it. I mean, if you look around the league, Sabonis is going to play all the minutes for the most part, and I know he gets in foul trouble. I kind of compare it to the situation in Denver where they really didn't play their backup centers much. They had DeAndre Jordan, they had Thomas Bryant, who they traded for, but they were playing like Jeff Green at small ball 5 for stretches in the playoffs. But they had those guys just in case. I think JaVale McGee can carve out a nice role on this team. I think you're going to see a lot of Trey Lyles, small ball 5, which I think had success against the Golden State Warriors. So I think if you have like a Len, McGee, Lyles, and maybe if you do keep one more, I don't know if they would. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with how they approach it, because again, Sabonis is going to be the guy playing the majority of those minutes.
Deuce, thank you so much. Congratulations. Please tell Morgan we said hello, and we look forward to talking to you again.
Yes, miss you guys.
Take it easy, Deuce. Yep, Dave Deuce Mason.
He says he misses us. I don't know if I believe
he's
him.
good at. He says it in a way that you almost feel like, wow, he meant that.
I think he almost meant that, but I don't believe him. I don't believe him as far as I can throw him.
He was like, he had our names written down.
Yeah,
there.
he's like,
well, Whitey
and Watkins. What is this? I'm going on here again.
Good for them. That's all. The whole story with them is very inspirational.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah,
another exciting chapter.
And seriously, I mean, he thought you were joking, but like, I really was thinking about it as the interview was happening, and if for anyone who hasn't checked it out, like, it is a fantastic interview. Like, that's 100% a moment like that people are going to be talking about, at least here in Sacramento. I think for a really long time. Just again, like I said in my question, like, I just haven't seen De'Aaron that lax before in an interview, and just to hear him kind of talk a little bit freely, I just think that it's going to be something that a lot of Kings fans are going to appreciate. And again, I think it's just going to be something they talk about for a really long time.
Speaking of hoops, coming up next, we're right back with this. Am I supposed to feel sorry for LeBron now? Whitey and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Whitey and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Will Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers brass go all the way this season?
Could the Niners win their first Super Bowl since 1995?
Join us throughout the season to hear all the games and all the analysis on Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
Celebrate the crowning of the NTT IndyCar Series champion at the season finale Firestone Grand Prix of Monterey at WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca, September 8th through 10th. International athletes hitting 180 miles per hour as they roar by. Experience autograph sessions, Ferris wheel, go-karts, and delicious Monterey cuisine. And don't miss IndyCars descending the famous corkscrew at astounding speed and accuracy. Tickets are on sale now at WeatherTechRaceway.com. Don't miss IndyCar racing and the season finale September 8th through 10th. It's the fastest action in America.
I'm Craig Ashton of the injury law firm of Ashton and Price. Whether you've been injured on a bicycle, as a pedestrian in a slip and fall, auto, Uber, Lyft, or big rig accident, you need Ashton and Price in your corner. When you call Ashton and Price, there's no chatbot telling you to hit 3 for accounting. You're greeted by a real live person who will immediately transfer you to an experienced attorney. The consultation's free, and there's never a fee until you win.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
At your desk, on your phone,
in the car.
Whitey and Watkins
on Sactown Sports.
Thank you for being with us. Thanks to Dave Deuce Mason for being with us. And if you haven't yet, you want to check out on the Deuce of Mo podcast, that De'Aaron Fox. Well, it's the Fox family interview. If you could interview anybody in the history of sports, Chris Watkins, who are you picking?
Great question.
Anybody. I assume.
I'm going to go a little off the radar, actually. Not off the radar.
I have to ask the judge.
Yeah.
Would this be all time, or are we just saying people that you could actually talk to now, Your Honor?
I would say all time.
All time. So you can go back in time and talk to people that are no longer with us.
Pretty cool.
Oh, okay. Well, this place is supposed to be haunted. So.
I think I would still say Mike Tyson. I just feel like he's just like incredibly interesting. Obviously, like was the most scary fighter to maybe ever step in the ring. But I just think that guy's probably got endless stories, and he actually seems like a really legitimately good hang. And I just feel like you would get just incredible stories from Mike Tyson, and just feel what it's like to be in his presence. I just feel like he's a one of one kind of guy. So I think I would go Mike Tyson.
That'd be tremendous.
Yeah. Michael Jordan, I feel like would be a terrible interview too.
Yeah. People, that's one of those things is like, oh, if you could hang out with one sports star, who would it be? And people say Michael Jordan. I don't think he'd be fun to hang out with.
There's no way. Like he's like, he probably has been disassociated with like actual human interaction, I think, for so long that he kind of gives me like Tiger Woods. Like he never learned how to like communicate with people. I feel like Michael Jordan's kind of a similar thing, and maybe even LeBron is to an extent at this point, where I just don't think that they even know what it's like to just like have a casual conversation.
I would like to talk to Barry. Because
you just want to be lied to your face.
Well,
or would you want to press him on it?
I did an interview with him once where I don't even know why, like his people, like, you want to have Barry on? I don't even know why.
Yeah.
And he was really cooperative, and it was he was funny.
Yeah.
And then I've, like talked to him. He didn't know who I am or anything, but I've seen him and talked to him, and he's not necessarily the most pleasant person.
That's what I've heard is, that's kind of the rub on Barry.
The weird thing, I think you have to get Barry out of baseball, out of like a baseball like atmosphere, because I still talk to this day when his dog was in the dog show and he's being interviewed, and he was happy, he was funny, he was just like, oh, I'm so proud of my dog for being here. I'm happy for all the dogs that are here. I'm like, I love this guy. Who is this?
He's got to be one of the most fascinating people in all of sports, and it goes beyond sports. And I don't just mean because he hit all the home runs.
Right.
There's the PED accusations and everything in between.
Totally.
There's just a lot there that if you could get him to get into it a little bit, it would be amazing.
Yeah, it
maybe
would be
somebody
really
will
good.
someday.
Yeah.
Depends on whether he ever really wants to do that.
I don't think so. I mean, the last interview I heard from him was one I think we played a couple months back where he, again, is just blame shifting and just
he's trying to control the narrative.
Exactly, which I don't blame him for, but it just feels very disingenuous, and I don't know. I would just want to talk with somebody that I feel like is actually playing ball with me.
You mentioned Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Did you hear what Rich Paul said yesterday?
I heard that he made an argument for LeBron as the GOAT, but I didn't hear the specifics of said argument.
He said that any comparison between LeBron and Michael Jordan, it crosses eras, so that's really tough to do when you get into that. He said the difference in technology and media between the two eras, he says LeBron, I don't know who he says is, you can imagine who he says is better, but the point of this is that he says LeBron has had it tougher than Michael Jordan. LeBron is the first player to have to deal with 24/7, 365 news cycle of sports and opinions from those who are not even capable or carry the expertise to give a valid opinion. He said that on with Gilbert Arenas. I said yesterday was at some point this week. So he's saying LeBron's had it tougher than Michael. And when I first read that, my first feeling was, well, yeah, of course he has.
I wonder though, and maybe this is,
he's also been criticized more because frankly, he has failed more.
That's
as great
that's
as he
also
is.
definitely true for sure. I mean, Michael kind of narrative wise gave people a lot more positive spin to kind of have and build this story arc of being the greatest of all time when you never lose and have the intensity he did. I mean, like people are going to write that stuff up as, or, eat it up as just narrative for building this guy's case for the greatest of all time. I'm actually really curious what you think about this. So for the media thing, obviously now with social media and, just cable news, everything like the endless stream of news cycle, I would argue, or at least try and make an argument that it was actually worse back then because when something negative came out, it was the biggest news possible because there were so few outlets that almost everybody saw that one thing, and the weight of it was almost more than what it is now, where it's almost everything is diluted by, there's so much noise that it's almost easier to block it out. Whereas if you were, there's only 5 channels on, if one of the channels is just absolutely blasting you, it kind of carries a lot more weight. Just like the newspaper used to carry a lot more weight to players. Like if you wrote a negative piece in the paper, the next day, it didn't matter. Like people on the team would see it. Whereas now, I mean, if we have a segment just killing De'Aaron Fox or killing Domantas Sabonis and we tweet it and we put it out on Sactown Sports, that's a lot more than was ever available in the past, but it still might not leak through to the players because there's just an abundance of it.
To me, what you're getting at, and I think it's factual, news cycles, you used to have a big story, and we saw this with Michael and story about it when he was stepping away from the game and, his father, unfortunately, was killed. A news cycle would last through the week.
Yeah.
And that would be a big story through the week. So yeah, there was that, but then something else would replace it. Now it's like there's almost countless news cycles going on at the same time, constantly, just everywhere. It's like a zzz. Used to be like news cycle. Now they're like all over. It's relentless. I think it was easier.
You're literally yesterday's news at this point.
Yeah, but then there's somebody else is going to come along and make something new.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was easier for Michael in his day to keep that distance between him, and he always was kind of
levitating,
exalted,
yes,
because he was always like, "Wow, Michael Jordan."
Yeah.
And another reason is because there were certain things he didn't want to get into, political issues. He wanted to make his money and play basketball, and bless him, LeBron has been willing to get into social issues, things like that. So obviously he stepped down. I don't know if he would have been as exalted, but he's come down from that perch.
Sure.
He hasn't tried to keep himself above it.
Right.
So naturally there's been more criticism of him.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, it's
I think he's chosen that, but I think it's just a matter of the eras in which they played rather than it's not like it's not fair to LeBron.
right.
It's just the
the
way it
fact-
is
yeah,
now.
it's
If
just
Michael
what
played now,
everybody
it'd
has to
be
deal with.
very similar for him.
Right. It is interesting. I mean, it definitely should be something that's factored into LeBron's story arc is the fact that, I mean, it's been talked about by everybody, but the fact that he's been able to keep his nose clean and like stay
Yeah,
out of trouble,
absolutely.
like it's almost like we're not even talking like a DUI or speeding or anything that of course. Like, I mean, the Tiger Woods thing was mass. If any small, tiny little
great
detail
point.
about LeBron happened, we would have heard about it. And the biggest thing is the decision, which was him choosing free agency and choosing to empower the players, which has led to this whole era. And then the other thing, I don't even like, you remember the Hummer? You remember LeBron getting a Hummer when he was in high school? And that was like the biggest news possible was how did he afford to get this car? And like that, those are really the two biggest quote unquote scandals of his career for the most part.
And the
The
jerseys,
China thing as
he
well.
also had the jersey. I think that's what made him ineligible in high school.
The jersey. Oh, where he like signed.
No, he had the like the $300-$400 like I think like Joe Namath old school jersey and stuff like that. You remember that?
No, I don't. People were questioning his like how he.
No, it
afforded
was
to
just
get
like it was like
jerseys.
where did you get these from? And I want to say like he lost his eligibility in high school his final season because of that.
Really? Oh no, I don't remember that.
Yeah.
I remember the golden hump.
I mean, he's been treated overall very well. Obviously, there's people,
Sure. I mean, yeah,
the vultures
absolutely.
are out there, the crows.
Yes. Skip.
But for the most part, LeBron has embraced social media. And he's been subjected to more because it's a different era, but
Right.
he's benefited from it as much as probably
For
more
sure.
than he's been hurt by the
media,
the jackals.
Yeah, exactly, trying to get after him for sure. And I mean, that's also a part of his overall greatness, not necessarily tying into basketball, but just like what makes him a fantastic figure, like public figure, is I mean, the fact that he's used his platform for mainly positive stuff. I mean, like he has created a school, like he's really into being a visionary for what it means to be like a top tier athlete. And for that, I will always think like he is truly a visionary in that sense. Like Magic Johnson kind of did lay the groundwork for what it's like to be a businessman after your basketball career. But for what LeBron's done during his career, I think it's incredible.
There is one key factor that nobody looks at when they compare LeBron to Michael. I will tell you what that is when we come right back. Also, we'll take a look at what's going on in the FIBA World Cup Championships next. Whitey and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Whitey
and Watkins
on Sactown Sports. Check out the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa every week on Sactown Sports. Get the latest on equipment, area courses, people who play the great game, and plenty of good conversations about golf.
It's the Golf to Go Hour every week with Frank LaRosa
on Sactown Sports. Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, America's most awarded golf facility. Nature Wood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality.
Hey, it's Carmichael Day for my good friends at Fire Wings with some bullet points for you to remember so you can be a professional fire wing eater. Like Wings Day Wednesday, 88-cent wings each and every Wednesday. 3 flavor lineup includes 7 classic wing flavors, 7 dry rub wing flavors, 7 fusion wing flavors. It's the perfect fast casual eating establishment for the entire family. Go to firewings.com or download the app, find a location near you, order online, earn rewards. Fire Wings, just wing it.
Get ready for a night with Cole Swindell. 2023 ACM Song of the Year winner hits Heart Health Park at Cal Expo in Sacramento, Saturday, September 9th for the CITP2 Fest. And Cole's bringing some friends like Chris Jansen, Dylan Scott, Matt Stell, and more. Tickets start at $40 at CITPfest.com.
Whether you're shopping for your favorite Honda online or in person, you'll see why Stockton Honda is the #1 Honda dealer in Northern California and why buying from Stockton Honda couldn't be smoother. Visit in person or online at StocktonHonda.com, where your favorite Honda is ready for you.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
#1 claim based on 2022 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company's own report.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch? Every day, from lunch to late night. Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Select Twin Peaks for your fantasy football draft party. Stay cool under pressure with 29-degree draft beers, plus a $50 bonus card for the commish, and an additional $5 bonus card for every drafter. Visit TwinPeaksRestaurant.com/fantasy-draft for more info.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
I suffered with plantar fasciitis for almost 20 years.
I thought that foot pain was going to be with me for the rest of my life.
If you suffer with plantar fasciitis, the search for pain relief can feel like an endless and hopeless ordeal.
I would try drugstore, insoles and supports.
I've been through surgeries, foot injections.
I was trying all different things. Not a single one worked.
If you think you've tried everything to relieve your foot pain, you probably haven't tried arch supports from the Good Feet store.
And then I was driving past the Good Feet store, and I thought, why not? Give it a try. They wanted to make sure that they gave me the right arch support for my feet. Then it was like, okay, this is different. These make a difference.
I don't have foot pain anymore. I'm so glad I met Good Feet. That changed my life.
See how Good Feet arch supports work for you before you buy with a free fitting and test walk at the Good Feet store.
The Good Feet store. Come in now for a free arch support fitting and test walk.
Sactown Sports
Headlines.
I'm Chris Verlod with your Sactown Sports headlines. We are just a day away from the opening of the NFL and 4 days away from the Niners opening up the season in Pittsburgh against the Steelers. As of right now, the Niners have not come to an agreement with star defensive end Nick Bosa. For more on the Bosa Niners negotiation, make sure to check out Sactown Sports 49er insider Emil Fregosa's report on SactownSports.com. This morning, Team Canada advanced to the FIBA World Cup semifinals with a 100-89 win over Slovenia. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was the leading scorer with 31 points. He also had 10 rebounds and 4 assists. Luka Doncic was the leading scorer for Slovenia with 26, but the big man was left unsatisfied with the loss. Those are your headlines. Now let's get back to Whitey and Watkins.
I'm not going to bore you with the details. We just went back into the whole pie conversation. I don't know why this is so hard to understand. Pie is a pie, and a sandwich is a sandwich, and a burger is a burger. And I don't know.
You said you don't want to get into it, so I'm not going to.
I apologize. I needed to express just that much. That hey, we had another discussion about it.
I think this would be fantastic for a YouTube.
That's a great point.
segment.
Yeah, we'll really dive into it then, because I still have some, not some thoughts, just some disagreements.
You don't like pie? That's fine.
That is fine. It's totally fine.
Obviously, it's just wet blanket. This guy.
I just have an issue with you guys picking and choosing your spots. Is this the wet blanketest
Wednesday ever?
Yes.
Chris Verlod?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh my
I don't
God.
like pie.
I hate you guys.
Like, I can understand, like, I don't like boysenberry pie. Like, okay.
Okay,
pecan pie.
Let
I'm
me
not
go
crazy
down the
about.
list. I'll just go. Sorry for not going down a list of 15 different pies I like or I don't like. I should.
Key lime pie?
No, I like key lime pie yogurt, but not. Did I just complicate things? Did I just complicate things without even trying?
Okay.
So if someone made a pie out of key lime pie yogurt,
Yeah. No. So, well,
you just eat
jeez,
the
I don't know.
filling.
I don't know anymore. I don't.
You would just eat the
I don't know.
The coolest thing about it is that you're just so. It's not like, gee, I don't know if I like that or not. He's like, no, I don't like that.
I just don't. Well, I know I don't. Like, that's why I'm so definitive, is because I don't like it. Like, I know I don't like it. It's not a matter of like, oh, I don't think I like it. Like,
Lemon meringue pie.
No, don't like lemon for dessert. Also, like my bigger thing was just
Here's
like
another one. What?
I need my desserts to just be. I don't need healthy stuff in my dessert. Like, it's for indulging. I don't want to like have blueberries sprinkled on my
So you
ice
think
cream.
lemon
or
meringue,
anything.
since it has lemon, is like a health?
I wouldn't
dessert?
say. I would not say that makes it healthy, but it's more just like I'm looking for chocolate. I'm looking for like
Sure.
non-fruit flavors. If I wanted something to taste like a fruit, I would just eat a fruit.
You're not happy that Dave took all of the crumble cookies with him, are you? When he left,
Yeah, I mean that was not cool.
a box. He did say, "Everybody grab one if you want, because I'm taking the
For
whole box."
sure, but like
I would have liked to have known that.
that's what like Dave and his family of 12. Like, is like why did he have to take the whole box? Like, he couldn't have just taken 3 cookies.
I mean, if you recall, I brought donuts in for everybody.
Yes,
and
you
I
did.
left them in there for everybody.
Very
to
kind of you.
enjoy.
Yeah. And did you ever take the box
I
away,
did
or
not.
did you bring the box out only for the midday show? And then once the midday show was over, did you take it home? No.
How about me? I saved the account.
Yeah, with the song you're talking about?
No, not with the song. With the fact that when the guy came in, Chris, very nice guy.
Yeah.
And Dave came in. He's like, I don't know this
know his
guy's name.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Dave did like the
In this
obvious
building,
thing.
it's either Chris or Jay. It's that
It's
easy.
literally like a 60% chance.
And
that
I
you're
took
gonna get
care
it right.
of him.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
he did the thing of like saying his name 5 times. Like, I definitely know your name, Chris.
Good to see you, Chris.
Good to see you,
Hey,
Chris.
Chris, it's good to have you back in.
Hey, Chris, what do you think, Chris?
Dave, have you met you know Chris,
You know,
right?
Right?
You know, with this public talk, you might not have saved the account after all.
Yeah,
So of course we did. Yeah. Of course we did. The talk before we were talking about pies was about this LeBron and Jordan thing, and we're not going to spend a lot of time on it. But I just think one thing that we're talking about it because it came up yesterday, because who was it? Rich Ball was talking about how LeBron has been under so much more scrutiny. When people compare LeBron to Michael Jordan, one thing they don't take into account is that Michael Jordan played on teams that were way better than some of the teams LeBron played on. The Heat teams obviously were great.
Right.
Michael Jordan, and I'll just leave it at this. Michael Jordan played for the Bulls. They win a championship 91, 92, 93. He steps away. What do you think the Bulls did the next year without Michael Jordan? Michael Jordan, the greatest player of all time.
Yeah.
Leaves.
Yes.
To play baseball.
Yep.
How do you think the Bulls did without him? Probably fell apart, right?
Well, I know they made the playoffs one year, at least one of those
They're
years.
55-27.
One of the best teams in the NBA, I assume.
They were second in the division, and then they went to the, conference. They won the Eastern Conference first round. They lost the East semis to the Knicks in 7 games. So that's all I'm saying. It's not Michael's fault, but just keep in mind, the Bulls were a great team, and he was the best player on a great team.
Right.
Was he the best player ever? Maybe, but you can't overlook the fact that team was a really good team, even without him.
Right.
And you can't say that about a lot of the teams LeBron played on.
Well, and how about the fact that Michael Jordan even came back that second season for the playoffs, and they still got eliminated by the Orlando Magic, if I'm not mistaken.
Good Orlando team.
No, everyone wants to say, but when Mike played, he kept winning championships. Well, I mean, he played that one series and they still lost. So I don't know. It just kind of ruins. It is also like the argument of Michael Jordan's 6-0 is a lot more impressive than LeBron's going. How many times is he? 11 times. And it's like, so you're telling me that LeBron should have just not made the finals in 2006 and that would have been better for his career?
As I'm sure you've heard, people used to make that argument about Joe Montana versus Tom Brady.
Really?
Like 4-0. He's 4-0, but then Brady won so many. That
Right.
it's like,
it was
yeah,
just
well,
like,
okay, I
he
can't
won
really
7.
make
so.
that argument.
Yeah. I mean, that's ridiculous to me. To me, that's just like people's obsession with like having a 0 on the other end of their win total. And it's like, that shouldn't really matter. Like, it should be about just sheer dominance over a career. And I think I'm not going to get into the Jordan LeBron argument, but I just think that should be something that's weighed in very highly. And I think Kareem has a similar argument for the same reason. It's like,
you're right.
just
nobody cares.
Longevity for that, for being that dominant for that long is insane.
There's going to be a long period here coming up. We're almost there, in which LeBron is widely considered the greatest ever. It's just inevitable.
Yeah.
Because of the recency bias.
He's going to reach like 40,000 points this year.
You have more and more people, and I know there are people that saw Jordan that will say, no, he's the greatest, and I will always think that. But there are fewer of those people, and we got more and more people that are seeing LeBron play, and seeing all the things he's doing, and that's one reason, I think we've talked about this, why Michael Jordan was behind The Last Dance. It was to remind people, hey, yeah, LeBron's great, but don't forget what I did. But it's inevitable that LeBron will widely be viewed probably for a long time as the greatest player ever until, I don't know, Wembanyama or whoever. I don't think it's going to be him, but until the next guy comes along, if that ever happens, it's not inevitable that we will have another guy like that.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I think there's a pretty good chance that we're never going to see someone who's going to have a resume that stacks up to LeBron. Like, just the amount of dominance that it would take over such a long period of time. I have a really tough time seeing it, though. I'm sure people said the same thing about when Kareem retired, and the same thing when Jordan retired. Like, I just think with how many good players there are, or how many great players there are in the NBA, I just don't think anyone's going to ever be able to dominate for as long of a period as what we just seen LeBron. And it's not even over. I mean, we haven't talked about it, but Christian Wood signed with the Lakers yesterday.
Yeah.
They had a really good offseason. What if LeBron has another playoff moment this playoffs that is kind of, now I don't know if anything will ever touch Michael Jordan's last shot with the Bulls and just the dramatics of that, but what if he has a moment where he was a push off? It was 1,000% a push off. Anyone who says different is just lying to themselves. But like, what if LeBron does something insane in the conference finals? And even last year, he finished with 40 points in that game 4 loss to the Nuggets. Like, what if he does something ridiculous for the last moment of his career that is like that Jordan moment, like the Kobe scoring 60 in his last game? That's kind of the cherry on top of what LeBron needs. He needs a nice swan song to kind of send him off into retirement.
The argument is pointless because I think it's inevitable that before long, LeBron will widely be seen as the best ever.
Yeah.
But, Wembanyama, obviously we have to see him play.
Right.
I think maybe we're getting a little too excited, too far over our skis about Wembanyama as he's going to be the next greatest player ever.
You're talking about the greatest prospect in professional sports history?
That's the guy.
Are you saying that we might be too high on that?
Yeah.
Oh, I think you're correct. Absolutely. There's no way that we're not overreacting. I mean, just let the kid play like a couple games. Like, he's a 7'3" athletic freak.
You don't even think he's going to be rookie of the year.
I don't.
And you're not alone in that.
I really don't. Like, I think they're going to rest him a lot. I think it's going to be with somebody that big nowadays. I just think you're going to handle him with kid gloves until you feel really confident that he can play 82 games. I mean, look how long it took Joel Embiid, who I guess had more injury concerns heading into his career, but look how long it took Joel Embiid to kind of get his footing before he was able to really put like 82 game seasons together.
Joel Embiid, free agent, FIBA free agent.
That's
he has citizenship in France, and the U.S. also wants him. Well, I guess that'd be a big factor for the Olympics coming up.
Absolutely,
in a couple of years.
Yeah.
As far as the FIBA World Championships,
Steve.
Germany advanced despite the fact that, as we mentioned earlier, Dennis Schroeder, and I'm part German and I love Dennis Schroeder. He was 4 for 26.
That's terrible. I got to triple check that because there's just
4 for 26, 0 for 8 on 3-pointers. Deal with it.
No way. I would pull somebody like you said, like after 19, like I would just be like, look, you have to stop shooting. And then he took 7 more after that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and you're trying to win. Oh my God, that's crazy.
Serbia plays Canada, USA versus Germany in the semifinals. So it looks like there's a really great chance we will get the matchup we've all been waiting for and hoping for: USA versus Canada.
Canada
For the World Cup.
And yeah, I mean, that game will be, I'm not going to get ahead of ourselves, but that would just be incredible. I mean, with how good Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's been playing recently, Anthony Edwards, that would be a really exciting matchup between two of the youngest stars in the NBA or rising stars in the NBA. I'm all for it. That's really the only matchup that I want to see. And if I don't, then I don't think I'm going to watch a single feed.
Coming up next, we learned something new and very interesting about Aaron Rodgers. Did you hear what it is?
No, I didn't. Is it something with, is he, I can only imagine.
Hard Knocks.
Oh boy.
It has to do with.
No, I'm assuming you're talking about UFOs. Okay. I can't wait to hear this. This is the least surprising thing, honestly.
It's coming up next.
Oh my God.
Whitey and Watkins on Sactown Sports.
It's Whitey and Watkins
on Sactown Sports.
The first ever NBA in-season tournament schedule is out, and our Kings have some great matchups, including national TV games against the Spurs and Warriors.
And Sacramento has won. They have risen to the occasion. And let me tell you, if you can't sense it, this place is absolutely nuts.
Listen to every game on the home of the Kings, Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Xfinity 10G, the next generation network. Well, so much of the A's future success will depend on the development of their young pitching. Take the right-hander Mason Miller, who back in May, in his third major league start, no-hit the Mariners for 7 innings. Well, he's spent the last 3 months on the IL, but he's coming back, pitching out of the bullpen here in September. If he can pitch well and he's healthy, that'll buoy his chances of rejoining the A's rotation in 2024. Ken Korak here, introducing you to the Xfinity 10G network. Xfinity is undergoing a multi-year network evolution, giving you a powerful connection today while building toward a faster, more reliable tomorrow. The Xfinity 10G network gives you the fastest internet with even faster speeds rolling out all the time. You also get a consistent and reliable connection when everyone's online, even during peak hours. That's a home run. If you want to learn more, go online at xfinity.com/10G.
Experience a golf tournament as refined as you are. The Fortinet Championship returns to Silverado Resort September 14th through the 17th. Be there as the best of Napa meets the best of the PGA Tour. With wine experiences, rockin' shows, and incredible golf. It's like this weekend was made for you. The Fortinet Championship, September 14th through the 17th. For tickets, go to FortinetChampionship.com.
At Harbor Freight, we think you shouldn't have to break the bank to get great tools. Because we know that for some of you, tools are part of the job. And for others, they're just the beginning of making, fixing, restoring, and building. That's why we make high-quality tools that are priced affordably. Because we love being the start of all your working, making, fixing, restoring, and building. Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave, and I recognize, just like my friends at American Energy Heat and Air, that your time is important. And that's why shopping for a new air conditioner is now easier with American Energy Heat and Air's online quoting tool. All you have to do is go to AmericanEnergyAir.com and get an instant quote right now. It'll help you determine what system you're going to need to get. It'll provide the best pricing options, all from the comfort of your home without having to have somebody come to your home. You know how annoying that is? They come in and everybody there is so sweet and nice, but how much better is it to be able to get it on demand? Visit AmericanEnergyAir.com. Check out how easy it can be. Or if you want to give them a call and talk through what your needs are, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Increase leads and get more customers. We create tailored digital marketing strategies that deliver results. On your next campaign, aim higher. Go to aimyourdigital.com and get started today. aimyourdigital.com.
At your desk, on your phone,
in the car.
Whitey and Watkins
on Sactown Sports.
Something of an update here from NFL.com on Nick Bosa. Pardon me. reigning defensive player of the year, not in the 49ers facility for meetings at the start of San Francisco's week 1 preparation, according to Ian Rappaport. So it looks more and more likely that he's not going to be with the team. Still a chance. And of course, Emil Fragoso, our 49er insider at SactownSports.com, will have the latest for you. But that's the latest from Ian Rappaport. Nick Bosa not at the facility today as the 49ers begin in earnest their preparations for the opener.
Doesn't seem ideal to me. I don't know. I mean, like, there is always a chance that I think TJ Watt got his deal done 2 days before the season started. But from the last report we heard, I mean, it sounds like these two sides are really far apart, and I wouldn't be expecting anything to get done in the next couple of days. It doesn't seem like things are trending that direction. And, it'll be interesting. It'll definitely be interesting after week 1. Something tells me Bosa is going to get even more leverage than what he already has.
Do you think there's something about playing quarterback for the New York Jets that somehow puts you in touch with the paranormal?
That's a great question. Sam
Darnold?
Yeah, right.
Seeing ghosts out there. Not only seeing ghosts out there, but saying that when he was staying with George Kittle this offseason, he said he literally had some sort of ghostly experience.
Joe Namath is definitely floating in some capacity. Like, he's definitely in touch with something inhuman, because he's out there as well. So
can I tell you
there might be something on
Joe Namath story?
Please.
I got to do an interview with him once. Maybe he was on Monday Night Football or something, but he was like in studio, and he was the nicest guy, and he signed something for me. I have no idea where it is, but he was so nice that he had his handler. They're like, Joe, we got to go for their next thing. And he was like, yeah. Hey, who's the backup quarterback for the 49ers? He was talking to me.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And he, if I saw him now, he had no idea who I was, but he was that nice. Like signing
That's
stuff.
incredible.
I'm like, hey, tell me about, and I think it was Mike Morosky at the time. He was like, who's this guy? Yeah.
Were the Niners struggling at the time?
Good one. Let it sink in, because I think a couple people need to catch that on the rebound.
That went over my head.
You don't remember that famous?
I don't get that reference.
Struggling.
I want to kiss you.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that part. I don't remember the struggling.
Well, I don't know if Joe has had any supernatural experiences. We'll have to find out.
Yeah.
But Aaron Rodgers last night, this will stun you. Aaron Rodgers, the final episode of Hard Knocks, says that 2005, and it was a bit before the draft that year, he was at a former teammate's house in New Jersey, and he saw something very strange.
Very strange.
Very strange.
And it froze.
Oh, my gosh. The government's trying to hide the evidence. Do you hear this? We had the audio ready to go, and then they just don't want you to hear it. Whoa.
We had this great dinner at his house in Jersey.
What's going on?
I was making my way to bed, and I had like a 5 a.m. wake up. And I was getting down to bed. I heard this alarm in the distance going off. It just didn't seem like normal, and I heard some rustling downstairs. So I got up, walked downstairs. It was a beautiful night. And Steve and his brother and I walked outside, and up in the clouds, we heard this sound, and we saw this tremendously large object moving through the sky. And it was like a scene out of Independence Day when the ships are coming into the atmosphere, and they're creating this kind of explosion type fire in the sky. We just saw this incredibly large object and froze, as anybody would, because we didn't know what the hell was going on. And eventually went out of sight, and nobody said a word. We just stood frozen, the three of us, on the front stoop of Steve's house. And about 30 seconds later, we heard the real recognizable sound of fighter jets going shoo, shoo, shoo. That seemed to be chasing this object. And again, we just stood there in just disbelief for another few minutes. Nobody said a word. And then we all kind of looked at each other like, did we just see what we think we just saw? What was that? Eventually, 20 minutes later, we kind of wound down a little bit, went back to bed. And then you're still not really sleeping because you just experience this bizarre experience. We looked in the papers and online the next few days, and there was nothing about it. That got me into researching more about UFOs. The siren or alarm had been from a nuclear power plant, which is about 9 miles away. And if you know anything about UFOs, there's a lot of sightings around nuclear energy, around volcanoes, around power plants. But yeah, Steve and I are great friends, teammates, and also witnessed whatever the hell it was. I don't know. But it was definitely unidentified. It was definitely flying. It was definitely a large object.
Aaron Rodgers. Believer. Are you a believer?
This guy needs to lay off the drugs.
Hey,
this was
an
before
an Emmy for whoever put that together.
Absolutely fantastic.
That's incredible. Sound effects and everything.
This is before he started his ayahuasca trips.
Yeah,
it's possible that memories of prior events could be impacted by
exactly.
It's
a great point.
Yes,
great point.
What would that be? What do you do? Something you ingesting of ayahuasca. Make some good points though. Who am I to say?
I don't want Aaron Rodgers doing his own research on anything. That's all I know. So he says he did further research into UFOs, and
I mean, the bad thing is, you guys don't want to hear this. I believe him, and the stuff about like the nuclear power plants and stuff like that is like, yes, that's the thing.
See, I don't know if I can believe you when you say you believe him.
No,
I don't know
I do.
If you do believe, or if you're.
I mean, I've been paying attention. Like they're in Congress right now, saying like, yeah, there's things that we can't explain right now going on.
I just can't believe anything Aaron Rodgers says. Honestly, that's more what it is.
That's your Vikings glasses.
He just seems like a lot.
He sells it though. He's got that. Well,
I believe that he believes it 100%. That is not a question. I 100% believe that Aaron Rodgers believes what he saw. I just don't believe that it actually happened.
The only
and
flaw,
I'm not like a UFO.
if I'm really trying to nitpick that story, it's like you see UFOs. Then we went back to bed, and like 20 minutes later, we fell back asleep. What? Come on!
No,
you're not sleeping all night, are you? He's like, hey, well,
I'll be having conversations.
I'll see you in the morning.
I'd be calling people, saying, "Hey, do you guys see like, hey, there's a nuclear reactor alarm going off right now. Should I move away? Like, should I be concerned?"
Verlaud's a believer, though. Verlaud's a smart guy.
I mean, for sure, aliens are might be out there. I think it's a large universe.
Pretty soon, all the quarterbacks will be coming out with their. Can you imagine what Kirk Cousins saw?
Gosh,
wow! Can't wait for that story. Coming up next, 49ers end up on top of a list that you'd rather not be on top of. That more as we continue with Whitey and Watkins, Sactown Sports. Woo! I didn't mean to freak you out. I'm sorry.
You're home
tonight. You're gonna do what is going on?
I don't know. The UFO thing is interesting to me. Again, like I am not ignorant to believe that there's other life force out there. It's again a really big universe. I feel like it's almost ignorant to think that in this vast universe we're literally the only beings that are out there. But
interesting comment from Justin Wise, who says that was too long. That is a YouTube chat. Comment of the day nominee. I thought it was worth playing the whole thing.
It was. Right? No, it definitely was worth playing the whole thing. It was pretty long, but yeah, that's
Can I give you my theory on
please. On UFOs or just on this specific?
On UFOs.
Okay. Yeah, please.
So when did we start hearing like sightings of UFOs and stuff like that?
I don't know. Supposedly 70s, they go
80s,
back
right?
to the 50s.
Yeah, like 50s, 40s. Like what big thing happened in the 40s?
Joe DiMaggio's hitting streak.
Besides that, we just had a huge movie about it. Atomic bombs.
Yeah.
Now, is there some sort of so this is where it gets like weird for me, and I'm just
music.
Yeah, I was like, you definitely need some music here, Chris.
All right, hold on 1 second. I think I got that music.
Okay, here we go. Now I honestly believe you more already.
So I think there's either two things going on.
Okay.
Either one is that these life forms have seen like, oh, these people have come up with a way to create atomic energy, knowing like we've got to keep an eye on them because they are smarter than what we've seen around here.
Right.
Or second, and this is really weird, and you probably are off board with it altogether, but with all these atomic bombs and everything like that, maybe there was some sort of tear in like
space-time continuum,
like some sort of universes where there's kind of like a mishmash going on with us and others.
Sure.
So that's
Could
just
open
my
some
thoughts.
kind of portal or something.
Yeah.
To another dimension or
Yeah,
universe.
something that we can't control and they can't control, and we're just getting kind of like the slippage between each other.
So like they're like cruising along, like, oh, where are we? Is that what you mean? Like, oh no, hey,
So,
there's
like,
Aaron Rodgers.
100%.
Hey, Aaron, I'm going to draft you on my whoop back in our own universe. Yeah,
100%.
That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, so are the aliens voluntarily coming through, or is this just like a rip in space that they have?
Like, I think it's like kind of like a slip, like a door is open and you're going somewhere like, oh, I don't, where am I? How did I get here?
So my thing about the aliens is like, if they have UFO technology, then they're clearly the superior life form. Why is there no attempt to like conquer us?
When you see like an anthill, why don't you conquer the anthill?
Some people do. I mean, it just takes one. That's the thing. It just takes one evil alien who has world domination on his mind to see.
Shocker. The most negative thing that could happen with UFOs is top of mind for you.
On the chat, Campio says Columbus wrote in journals of seeing objects in the sky. Yeah, they're called clouds.
Yeah, I mean,
I think.
He also
birds.
thought that manatees were mermaids.
He also thought he
were
was.
You're right. I mean, there
in
were no
India
flying
when he
machines
landed here, so he was convinced.
He also was an awful, awful person.
Just a terrible person, like all time terrible.
Columbus or Aaron Rodgers, you got to spend a month with them. Where you going?
Oh my gosh. At least Aaron's bringing some fun, some fun with him. Yeah,
Yes.
at least maybe we can make it through there. Columbus just seems like an arrogant person that nobody really liked.
Is Aaron Rodgers playing us? Even if you believe everything he says, is he like, watch this? This is going to be big on Hard Knocks. The question is, Aaron Rodgers on Hard Knocks, is he maybe playing us? Does he know, like, people are going nuts over all these things I say. Watch this. I got something special for the last episode of Hard Knocks.
There's a possibility. It does feel like he's been sort of leaning into this, like,
playing us?
Yeah, a little bit, like the ayahuasca thing, the dark retreat thing. Like, I think he's definitely, I shouldn't say definitely, but I feel like he's definitely playing into a narrative.
He
Like,
could be, but I don't think he is. I believe that he believes everything he said.
yes, I think that as well. I think he believes it, but I think the decision to go public with it is something of crafting. I don't know why he would want to craft this image of him, but definitely, maybe it's just seriously who he is, but I believe that he believes everything he's saying. I don't know why he's deciding to go public with all of these things, especially when he supposedly hates the media. So
Because he wants the truth out there, perhaps.
sure, maybe. Maybe.
Here's the truth for 49er fans. It may not be pleasant. Perhaps it doesn't really matter. You be the judge. We have a panel here from The Athletic. Panel comprised of GMs, team execs, head coaches, and assistant coaches. All right.
Okay.
So people who are supposed to know what's going on in football.
Supposed
It's their business. They get paid to know.
Right.
The question is, and 18 voters participated in this, which team will surprise people this season in a bad way? Tied for the number one answer. Again, this is GMs, team execs, head coaches, assistant coaches. Which team will surprise people in a bad way this year? 3 teams got 5 votes, which is the most.
Detroit
you had
Lions.
Detroit Lions.
Hey.
They got 3.
Okay. Oh, okay. I thought they
By
were
the way, we have more votes on here than 18 voters could have supplied, so I'm not sure how that works out. But throw that. I guess maybe there's a ranking system here. Dallas, Green Bay, and the 49ers on top.
Wow.
5 points each in this poll.
One of those things is not like the other.
I agree.
I don't know if I haven't heard a lot of people on the Packers hype train, really much of any.
I don't know what they could do that would surprise people unless they lost every game and didn't score
Right.
a touchdown.
Yeah, like if the Packers win 4 to 6 games next year, I mean, what was the expectation? Like 8? I don't think. I think it's kind of I think everybody's kind of in a wait and see mode with the Packers.
Mm-hmm. Buffalo got 4 points. Miami 4. Tampa Bay, another one that got 4. And I'm like,
again,
maybe somebody didn't understand the question.
didn't quite literally did not understand the assignment. The Niners one's I guess,
Also getting points, 3 points, Detroit, the Eagles, the Titans, and the UFOs.
The UFOs is that makes, I honestly like that name better than the Jets. The UFOs are probably, they should have been replaced with the Packers.
You wouldn't really have to change the logo. You just add a spaceship
above it or behind it. Yeah.
Behind the jet.
Maybe the jet, or like Aaron said, like the Jets were chasing the UFO.
He said the unmistakable sound of jets.
I think the Niners definitely have a good shot of disappointing. I mean, for everything that's going on, if the quarterback situation doesn't go as the Niners hope it will, if Sam Darnold is starting, 4 or 5 games this year, I can see, they have expectations of winning 12, 13 games. There's a world where they win 9 or 10 for sure.
Yeah, by virtue of the question, which team is going to surprise people in a bad way? Obviously, it has to be a good team.
Yes,
I mean, even though somebody kind of screwed up here with Green Bay. But so if you're a good team, there's a chance you're going to get votes. I also think that, again, that resentment for the way the 49ers do things is also reflected in this.
Definitely.
I think there are some people around the league like, watch this, watch what happens.
Yeah, exactly. I bet you. I would bet that they're going to lose more than people think. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the 3 names up top, you notice anything about those 3 names? The Cowboys, the Packers, and the 49ers? Those are all pretty big brands there.
Yeah. Now, Chris Verlade, if you would, that brings us to a sneak attack edition of the Football Feud.
What?
If you could give us, a little Football Feud music.
No one told me this.
I know. This was.
I've been bamboozled.
Yes, I've tried to come at you guys, sneak attack here, and let's see.
It's time to play Football Feud.
Yeah, gotcha. It's time for a surprise edition here.
Okay.
Of the Feud. And we're looking at, again, a very similar poll here by The Athletic. Again, this is according to GMs, team execs, head coaches, and assistant coaches.
Okay.
Top 6 on the board.
Okay.
Chris Verlade and Chris Watkins. Shout your name to buzz in.
Okay.
Can you name the team that tops this poll? And the question is, which team will surprise people in the NFL in a good way the most this year? Which team will surprise people in a good way this season?
Nicole.
Yes, Chris Verlade.
The Steelers.
Steelers are number 5 on the list.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rick.
Yes, Rick.
Chicago Bears.
Chicago Bears are not in the top 6.
Wow. I've heard a lot of hype about the Bears. I thought that would have been a good one.
So Chris Verlade, Nicole, you have the board. Do you want to pass or play?
Oh, Chris doesn't have this. Go ahead.
Passing.
I have to ask now, can I look at NFL logos? I got criticized for typing in.
It's up to your opponent. I guess if
I can see your computer, yes.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay. Gonna
Which
surprise team
will surprise people in a good way this year. Which team will be a surprise team in the NFL? Again, according to GMs, team execs, head coaches, assistant coaches, have the top 6 here. Pittsburgh is number 5 on the list. They got 4 points in this poll.
Can I say the Los Angeles Rams?
Los Angeles Rams would be swing and a miss.
Again, geez.
Yeah.
Is that 2 strikes now?
That's what I was going to ask you.
Or is that 1?
Does he have 2 strikes now or 1? Because he missed the first time.
He's got 1.
Okay, 1 strike again.
Thank you for knowing the games. Let's go with, how about the New England Patriots?
The New England Patriots. They might surprise people, but they're not on this list, and that's strike 2
This
against
is terrible. All right, I got to lock in here.
Chris Verlade's strategy is looking like it was wise indeed.
Let's go with
teams that'll surprise people in a good way in the NFL this year.
Do not overthink this.
Detroit Lions.
Detroit Lions tied for number 1. Detroit Lions got 8
the
points.
elite quarterback that is Jared Goff.
There you go. Well, what a comeback this would be. What an impressive.
The
amazing.
Denver Broncos.
Denver Broncos. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. So Chris Verlade now has just but to name 1 team left on the list here, and he can win the game. What team will surprise people in a good way, according to NFL GMs, team execs, coaches, and assistant coaches? The tied for number 1 is up there. Number 3, number 4, and tied for 5th with Pittsburgh's up there. Name one of these teams left, And when we have Detroit and Pittsburgh, Christopher.
I'm going to go with fellow UFO believer Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets.
The New York Jets. Number 5 on the list is the Washington Commanders.
Okay.
Tied for 4th number 4 on the list is Jacksonville.
Okay.
Number 3 is the Seattle Seahawks.
Okay.
And number 1 is the Cleveland Browns, which means Chris Watkins.
You definitely don't have this one, Chris. Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Chris Watkins.
Woo!
The winner today.
That's a terrible list, by the way.
Is it?
I like the list that we came up with.
I think
a lot
so.
more.
I think ours is a better list. Who are they even
The
talking
Jets are
to?
not going to surprise anybody
Yeah, I mean that one.
in a good way because, again, expectations are so high, right?
Yeah.
I don't understand how Detroit's on that list when they're the most hyped team.
That's a good
possible.
point.
That was
Yeah.
my logic with the
Expectations
Bears.
are very high.
I was just trying to go with the teams that have the lowest expectations in general.
Washington is a good one on
It's a
there.
good one.
Pittsburgh, and I think Cleveland is a good one.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I still think people. Whatever. I'm not going to nitpick. The
Again,
list,
it
but
is possible that some of the people that filled
didn't
this
understand
out,
the assignment. They just didn't understand the assignment at all. I mean, I mean, as clear by us missing pretty much every single guess. I don't think that that's a very good list. I feel like all of those teams. Sure. I mean, yeah, you could just name the worst teams and say, yeah, I mean, they might surprise you. They're going to win 5-6 games instead of.
I think Cleveland's going to be. They have a chance to be a really good team, but they're playing in what maybe
Impossible
the toughest division.
Yeah.
And so, a lot of those games are going to be close. They're going to come down to the last couple minutes, and if they ball bounces their way, they could have an excellent year.
You said Seattle's on that list?
Seattle is, they're
like,
third.
Seattle's supposed to win 9 or 10 games this year.
Well,
Like,
maybe some of these people think they're going to
they
be better
can
than
win 12.
that.
I guess. Okay. Sure. I'm just bad at this game, I guess. You know what?
I
took the win.
understand your
This
point.
is again another time when I won, but I feel like I'm upset as if I lost.
This list
Sounds
was
like a me
probably
problem.
trickier than maybe it could have been.
Trickier or worse. Yeah.
But I think this
bad
also
poll.
speaks to the fact that this time of year,
No
even
one
the
knows.
people that are executives and coaches and GMs, nobody knows.
Nobody knows. Yeah, it's just all dart throws, and I don't know. It's I do believe too that the 7 teams every year are gonna, I guess it's been a trend in the NFL that 7 teams that made the playoffs won't make it, and then there's gonna be 7 new ones.
I think it's at least 7, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's more.
Sometimes it's more, but yeah, it's been at least 6 or 7 the past couple of years.
Yeah, I believe it because again, it's the volatility of
Sure.
the NFL.
Right, injuries and all
we
that
just
stuff.
we see a
yeah.
team. They won 12 games this last year.
Right.
They're great. They're going to make it again. But then
Yeah.
if you really look at it, it's like, well, a couple of these games could have gone either way, and the games are so close.
Yeah.
There's more parity than ever.
So I think the Browns are your team for who you would expect to have more. Do you have a team that you just are not as high on as everybody else is? Anybody stick out?
I want it to be Dallas, but I'm not sure if that's just
Yeah.
personal
Sure.
emotion or if there's really something there. Dallas is
You
probably
just
gonna
want to
be-
see Trey Lance, huh? That's all it is.
yeah. I'm going. I don't. The Jets. The hype is just too out
It's
of control.
pretty crazy. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Especially I just feel like people are overlooking the very real concerns that the Jets have. They
Right.
The Garrett Wilson's great. I don't know what other receiving targets are really that exciting, and their offensive line has been something that even Aaron Rodgers has pointed out a couple times. That kind of seems like a problem, and their defense is still young. And I don't know how you feel about Robert Saleh, but I think he's still kind of unproven as a head coach.
I also think that for a team to be really good, it helps to have a quarterback who's been there a while.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And he's obviously an upgrade, but he just
Sure.
got there.
Yeah. And I don't know how much you've seen of Hard Knocks, but they look at Aaron Rodgers like he is Jesus walking on water and turning wine into water into wine the entire time. It's like the I don't know. It just seems like a situation that's kind of doesn't have a good foundation, I would say. I don't know necessarily when things get tough for the Jets, and their schedule, especially to open the season, is incredibly tough. I don't know how that team's going to respond when they face any sort of adversity.
Yeah, I think they're going to be one of the teams. And then to your point about how much they're relying on him, is he reliable?
Yeah.
I mean, he
He's
looks like he is
39,
right now,
yeah.
but I mean, this is a guy that's talking about, UFOs and maybe he's right.
Right.
Maybe he's 100% right. But that's you're banking on that
Right.
guy to be your solid foundation.
Right.
When he just got there.
coming off a really bad season last year too.
C-Web once said, "Good luck."
Good luck to you, man.
Right?
Yeah, it couldn't be me, but I mean, they believe the Jets really they at least have the good vibes that the 49ers don't have. Not that, they're really comparable.
That's
but
definitely true.
yeah, for sure. I do think that there's something to it, but that also good vibes only go as long as you haven't played football games. And once they start playing games and results start happening, that's when things get sketchy.
Speaking of good vibes, Bold Kings predictions of the day are coming up. Tell you how the Kings will make history this season. Next year, Whitey and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
It's Whitey and Watkins
on Sactown Sports.
The first ever NBA in-season tournament schedule is out, and our Kings have some great matchups, including national TV games against the Spurs and Warriors.
And Sacramento has won. They have risen to the occasion. And let me tell you, if you can't sense it, this place is absolutely nuts.
Listen to every game on the home of the Kings, Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Whether you're shopping for your favorite Honda online or in person, you'll see why Stockton Honda is the #1 Honda dealer in Northern California and why buying from Stockton Honda couldn't be smoother. Visit in person or online at StocktonHonda.com, where your favorite Honda is ready for you.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
#1 claim based on 2022 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company's own one report.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Check out Whitey and Watkins now on YouTube. Search Sactown Sports and watch the show from your desk.
Well, we're recovering from just a bloodbath of a football feud.
Yeah.
I think we're smarter. I think we're wiser.
I think so.
I think we've learned a lot today already. We're just getting warmed up.
Oh,
really.
yeah.
Learned about UFOs.
Learned about UFOs.
Between Aaron Rodgers and Christopher Laud breaking it down for us.
Yeah, I mean, I've got tons of theories, and it's something, man. I mean, I get it. Like, again, I understand why people think that that they're out there, but I think that they would leave a lot more signs. I just feel like, we've seen, crop circles, and, I think a year ago there was like a pillar that no one could explain why it was in the middle of the desert, and then it just disappeared. I don't know. I just feel like why are they being so secretive? Why don't they want themselves to be?
The scary stuff is if you look into, and I don't spend a lot of time on this, but pilots now and then you see stuff from pilots who will say things that they saw. And those are the ones that to me is like, whoa, I don't know about that. But
for sure.
I'm not trying to convince you or get you to look into it. I'm trying to keep an open mind on it.
Same. That's exactly how I am not closed-minded on UFOs or aliens. I am willing to be convinced.
What about ghosts in the building?
Ghosts, not so much. And that's more of just a personal thing. Like people swear that they've had like paranormal experiences, and some things are very unexplainable, but it's never happened to me. So I just can't really co-sign it. Like, I'm not going to invalidate your experience, but I'm just letting you know that from my side of things, I've never seen it. And I don't know why a ghost would decide to flicker lights and close doors if they're dead. Like, why is that how you're deciding to spend your free time, your dead time?
Maybe you're limited into what you can actually do.
Maybe.
Yeah. Like they tell you when you're a ghost now. I'm gonna run around and scare these people. Yeah, you can't do that.
Yeah,
but you can flicker the lights a little bit.
That'll spook them.
It's like 3 times a month.
Exactly. That's the thing. It's not every night. Like,
right.
Wires, I don't know.
How long you been a ghost?
Mean.
Oh, okay, you're a neophyte. All right, you can do it once a month.
Yeah, once a month, dude. That's it. And it's like
I don't know.
I don't either.
I try to be an open-minded skeptic.
Yeah. You ever Ouija board?
No.
Yeah, me either. I don't get it. I just don't. what's
That
the
I don't
fascinating?
believe
Like, why would you want to open up that tunnel? If you do believe, like, why would you literally invite communicate? I don't know.
But I'm going to gaze into the crystal
Futures
basketball
open.
here and tell you what's
Oh,
going to happen
yeah.
in the future.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Jay Mars the other day, basketballically speaking.
Yes.
I agree. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Isn't that
fantastic.
wonderful?
Fantastic. 10 out of 10. Like, and I think you said, yeah, if you ever have a podcast, basketballically speaking is a fantastic title.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Actually, you haven't been here in a
Yes,
while.
I haven't. Yeah, that's true.
I would, if you want to go first,
Sure.
by all means.
We actually already had a
Bold Kings predictions of the
day.
day.
We should highlight Deuce's bold Kings prediction. Kings will be top 15 in defensive rating. That is from Deuce Mason earlier today. It's a pretty good one. It's pretty bold from Deuce. I don't think we've gone that far as to say top 15.
I know I haven't.
So definitely fits the bold. This one's kind of timely because of the success of Canada here. I'm going to say this is a sad one. The Kings are going to lose both Jordy Fernandez and Jay Triano after this season, their offense and defensive coordinator. You know, Jordy pretty much almost left this offseason. I think he's pretty much a shoe-in.
Happy
for a
Wet
job.
Blanket Wednesday, everybody.
It's how it goes, man. I'm staying on theme. But there is some positive news in this because if those two leave, that leaves two wide open bench spots. And I think Doug Christie, our guy, slips right into that. And also Luke Laux, who has been a close personal assistant of Mike Brown these past couple of years. I think those two slide right in. So that's my prediction. Jay Triano and Jordy Fernandez leave. Doug Christie and Luke Laux take their place.
If Doug Christie moves up, is he still coaching the grade team at practice?
I hope not, man, because they cannot figure it out. I mean, it's been months now, and he's still screaming defense. He's got to be out of timeouts at this point as well. Like he's called so many timeouts. Like he's got to talk to his boy C-Web about that because there's a limit, man. There's a limit.
Have any more timeouts left?
Yeah, and he says timeout. That could be 2 timeouts he's using every time too. So.
And when you think that'll happen?
This offseason or this next offseason after this season.
After this season,
yes, in the summer of next year.
My Kings Bowl prediction of the day. By the way, that's not that bold to suggest that those guys are going to be gone, right? I mean, you went ahead and
Jordy,
went to fill-in.
I don't think Jordy is, but
it's bold. But Jordy Fernandez leaving is not.
I don't think so. Yeah, but Jay Triano, we haven't heard anything about that, and that's more because he runs the offense, and as we know, the Kings' offense has been pretty ridiculous, and I think that's going to continue next year. And I don't know if it'll be for a head coaching job. Jay's already kind of had a couple of those, but I could see him leaving for maybe an increased role or maybe just something different somewhere else.
You know who was I know you were there at the Sasha press conference, and I saw him on TV. He's like, oh yeah. Alvin Gentry.
Oh yeah, Alvin's around all the time.
Alvin Gentry.
Alvin's the best. Alvin, that was the funnest half season I've spent with the Kings and whatever. I've covered them for 4 or 5 years now. That half season of Alvin is it was a treat. Like he's so relaxed. He
was on the Warrior staff before Mike Brown.
Yes, he was. Yeah, he was Mike Brown before Mike Brown, wasn't he? Yeah,
he was offense and Brown was defense.
Right. I think did he replace Luke? No, because Luke brought him over. I don't know. But Alvin Gentry is one of a kind and like one of the funniest, sweetest people out there. And also just loves to talk to people.
He's been through it.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as the NBA.
Basketball lifer.
Yes.
Like definition of a basketball lifer. I had no idea.
On December 20th, this is my Kings Bowl
this
prediction
is specific.
Of the day. This is going back through the mists of time. December 20th, 2020, the Bucks won at Miami. 144-97.
Okay, why do you bring that up?
In the process, Milwaukee made an NBA record number of 3-pointers in a game.
Oh, how many?
This season, the Kings will break that record.
Okay.
In the process, becoming the first team in NBA history to make 30 3-pointers in a game, beating the Bucks record by 1.
That feels doable with the amount of shooters that are on the team. I could see it. I could definitely see it.
Footnote. In that game, which will be one of the games against the Warriors, the two teams will combine to make the most threes by 2 teams in one game.
Okay.
The current record for that is 43.
Oh, that's easy.
Established by the Warriors and Pels in a Golden State victory, January 16th, 2019. So this year, the Kings will break the team record for a number of threes in a single game, and they will break the combined record number of threes in a single game.
Who's going to lead the team in 3-point makes? This won't have to be part of your official prediction, but who do you think?
I don't have that.
Okay. I mean, it could be anybody.
Mustafa Zenkov.
You're dang right. That was the only answer that you could have had. That's a
Mustafa
great
Zenkov.
Oh, Chris, that's so good. Yeah, I mean, I think that's a great prediction. I mean, again, just the amount of shooters that the Kings have this season at their disposal. I mean, what? That's like 6 guys hitting 5 threes. Like I think the Kings definitely have potential to do that. And then what you said, 43 is the combined record.
That surprised me a little bit.
That feels incredibly low. And I think, I mean, if they play Golden State, Kings hit 30, Golden State hits 8 or so. I don't know. Well, I guess that wouldn't work.
That's
13.
not gonna work.
That wouldn't work. Like I said, math is tough. I'm so glad Chris wasn't
30 and
listening
8
to
is
that.
less than 43.
So glad he wasn't listening to that. 40. So they would have to hit 13 threes. I think that's a fantastic prediction. How about it happens in the in-season tournament too? I'll just throw that in there. It happens in that Golden State game. I mean, that's terrific. And the Kings have already kind of had a 3-point shootout with the Warriors in the past. I don't know if you remember that Omri Caspi, Steph Curry back and forth 3-point game. I could see something like that where those two teams are just going back and forth. And, we already assume that those games are going to be incredibly high intensity based off of the series last year.
I think they're going to be.
I love it.
In a manner that regular season games aren't
Yeah.
often.
Yeah,
There's going to be a lot of juice, We talk about
especially
matchups.
in Golden One.
Yeah, how juicy is this matchup? Some matchups
there's
not much juice there, but we're gonna have some juicy matchups.
Kings Warriors, especially they play 2 or 3 times in the first month of the season. Again,
The Warriors will probably try to downplay it, like it's early in the season, whatever.
Yeah, we're figuring it out, But
remember my other prediction. We're gonna have a fight.
That's right. Yeah, you did say that. Domas and Draymond are primed for it. And you also remember I said the Kings are going to beat the Warriors every season. They're going to sweep them. So, I mean, all these things are really coming together. And I think you're definitely right, though. The Kings and Warriors are going to have all of those games are going to be must-watch TV. I think most of them are going to be on national television, but it just feels like those games are going to be must-watch TV, every single one.
Speaking of the Kings and the Warriors, coming up next, the elephant in the arena. Why the Kings really lost to the Warriors and why no one wants to talk about the real reason. That's next year with Whitey and Watkins on Sactown Sports.
Check out the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa every week on Sactown Sports. Get the latest on equipment, area courses, people who play the great game, and plenty of good conversations about golf.
It's the Golf to Go Hour every week with Frank LaRosa
on Sactown Sports. Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, America's most awarded golf facility. Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by the Arnold Law Firm.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Your Wednesday, spotlighting plenty of sunshine. We'll have light winds out of the southwest, and for the afternoon, daytime highs in the upper 80s to low 90s with overnight lows in the low 60s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
The Arnold Law Firm has seen how a collision can turn anyone's life upside down in a heartbeat. So remember to be a little more alert on the road and stay safe. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777.
Everything that you've ever seen with Miranda Lambert on it, I have my finger on the pulse of what it is. Idlewind, I've seen every article of clothing. I've spent hours and hours sending inspirations. I've sent clothes that I love and fabrics, and I'm involved in every single garment that you see. It's important to me that it is an extension of my music, and it's an extension of who I am. I always want it to stay as honest as my music. Idlewind at Boot Barn.
Ready for a sizzling football season? Take your game day parties to the next level with Napoleon Prestige Grills from Green Acres Nursery and Supply. Fire up the grill and score big with mouthwatering burgers, juicy steaks, and finger-licking wings. Napoleon Prestige Grills bring the heat and come complete with a lifetime warranty. Get your ultimate game day companion today. Visit your local Green Acres Nursery and Supply and elevate your tailgate experience with Napoleon Prestige Grills. Green Acres Nursery and Supply, your one-stop shop for grilling greatness this football season. Visit iDigGreenAcres.com for the store near you. Game on!
Bonneville International Radio Station contests are open to participants at least 18 years of age and older that are residents of California and who reside in one of the 6 counties that make up the Sacramento metro area, unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contest are not eligible to win, unless the station otherwise specifies in its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 30 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. For a copy of the general contest rules, visit KT hdk.com.
When every shot counts, the professionals at the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio encourage you to try the brand new Titleist T-Series irons. Irons designed to enhance your play through control, distance, flight, forgiveness, looks, sound, and feel. With 4 T-Series models, the fitting team at Hagen Oaks will find the perfect Titleist T-Series iron for you. Call 916-808-2531 to find your fit today. Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway, or online at hagenoaks.com.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch? Every day, from lunch to late night. Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Get wings the way you want them. Try Twin Peaks wings bone-in breaded, naked, smoked and grilled, or boneless in your favorite sauce or rub.
When every shot counts, the professionals at the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio encourage you to try the brand new Titleist T-Series irons. Irons designed to enhance your play through control, distance, flight, forgiveness, looks, sound, and feel. With 4 T-Series models, the fitting team at Hagen Oaks will find the perfect Titleist T-Series iron for you. Call 916-808-2531 to find your fit today. Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway, or online at hagenoaks.com.
Get ready for a night with Cole Swindell. The 2023 ACM Song of the Year winner hits Heart Health Park at Cal Expo in Sacramento, Saturday, September 9th for the CITP2 Fest. And Cole's bringing some friends like Chris Chanson, Dylan Scott, Matt Stell, and more. Tickets start at $40 at CITPFest.com.
I like daffodils, tulips, the big dinner plate dahlias. I loved being in the garden, but I wasn't going to be able to because I couldn't not only walk, but I couldn't really stand on my foot without being in pain. It was excruciating. So my husband said, let's go to the Good Feet store.
For over 20 years, we've helped people like Terry live the life they love without letting their feet get in the way.
This nice young man said, I think I can help you. He got the arch support and I was fitted. And I kept walking back and forth across the store. And I looked at my husband and burst into tears because it was the first time in a year that I have not had any pain in my foot. I have had no pain since the day I bought them. Now I can do whatever I want. There isn't any place on my property that doesn't have flowers blooming 365 days a year. I still can't believe it. My name is Terry, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
The Good Feet store. Come in now for a free arch support fitting and test walk.
Sactown Sports
Headlines.
I'm Christopher Lott with your Sactown Sports Headlines. We are just a day away from the opening of the NFL and 4 days away from the Niners opening up the season in Pittsburgh against the Steelers. As of right now, the Niners have not come to an agreement with star defensive end Nick Bosa. For more on the Bosa-Niners negotiation, make sure to check out Sactown Sports 49er Insider Emil Fergoso's report on SactownSports.com. This morning, Team Canada advanced the FIBA World Cup semifinals with a 100-89 win over Slovenia. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was a leading scorer with 31 points. He also had 10 rebounds, 4 assists. Luka Doncic was the leading scorer for Slovenia with 26, but unfortunately, the big man left unsatisfied with the loss. It is 12:30. Come out to the Marysville Stampede September 16th and 17th at Cotton Rosser Arena. Get your tickets at MarysvilleStampede.com. Those are your headlines. Now let's get back to Whitey and Watkins.
Thank you for being with us today. I also want to thank Aaron Rodgers for his very brave admission last night that he's seen a UFO. Appreciate the courage it takes to talk openly about that.
He's held on to that for a while.
I
said it happened in 2005 and we're just hearing about it now.
I want to thank him also because it gave us the opportunity today to intersperse our conversation about sports with conversations about the paranormal.
Yeah.
And I know that's really why you come here.
Always. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like you said, the building that we're in is haunted. So, I mean, it's just.
You're the one who told me that. I had never heard that.
People swear by it.
You told me that.
There's a whole investigation done and everything. And they swear that there is a specific hallway that is haunted. I can't remember which one it is. I can't remember if it's this main staircase or the staircase that you and I use, but
they're probably all haunted.
That's another thing too, is like, how can a specific area have more ghostly power than
Those are
others.
good
It's
questions.
like why are they just trapped right in that hallway?
Before we get back to the Warriors and
Sure.
the Kings, let me share something with you because John Williams here, not the composer.
Yeah,
but
I was
John
like,
Williams
what?
on the chat says, I've seen weird things a few days after my dad died. And hopefully, John, you've had time to recover from that. Hopefully that wasn't, recent. If it was, all our sympathies for what that's worth. But something like that did happen once when a member of my family passed away.
Mhm.
It was my grandfather, and he was older, but I was staying with my grandmother, and we both woke up. So I was like keeping her company because,
Right.
she wasn't used to being by herself. We both woke up in the middle of the night, just woke up. Remember, she woke up and she said, I don't know why I woke up. And I woke up too. And right then is when we got the call that he had passed away.
Yeah, that's really eerie.
It wasn't
like,
flickering lights or
again,
anything
yeah.
like that, but it was like, I remember, I'll never forget her. I don't know why I woke up. And I was like, kind of wondering the same thing. And then right then the phone rang.
Yeah, that's again one of those things where like I don't really have there's no explanation for that. Like I can't devalue your experience. I can't say anything about it.
Happened.
But
Yeah.
I mean that's creepy. Like that's unexplainable. And that's why I understand why people do have this, affinity for the paranormal. It's just, again, I have not had the pleasure, I guess, of experiencing something paranormal that would have me be a believer. But I'm very open-minded to hearing stories like that. And I think after hearing enough, it's at some point, it's just like, I can't deny all of these people telling me their experience.
My guess would be that there's something to a lot of this, but that our explanations are the ones that like, no, that's not what it is. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like,
Because we try to
but
justify it, rationalize
Yeah,
it. And it's like, that's your human mind trying to connect dots that you just can't because you don't understand the paranormal.
But I think we do know why the looking for reasons to things, why the Kings lost to the Warriors. And there wasn't one reason, but this was certainly a big one. But it seems to me no one wants to talk about it. Chris Watkins. And I know you were there for a lot of this series.
Yes.
Kevin Huerter's shooting in that series killed the Kings. He
Wasn't
had a great season. He had a great
great.
season. And it's funny because so many people want to say, oh, if Barnes makes that shot, they win.
Right.
Barnes
That's
makes that
ridiculous.
1-3. And
that's
that would have changed the complexion of the series. But yeah, he missed a shot. Kevin Huerter was 8 for 39 in the series.
That seems bad.
After having a great season, shooting
Right.
better than 40%, 8 for 39 in the final 7 games of the season. I mentioned this because I was looking on the Ringer today, and they have a list of off-season wishes for every team in the NBA. And one of the things they're looking at for the Kings is evidence that it's like a wish list, what they wish for every team.
Right.
Evidence that Kevin Huerter still isn't in a massive shooting slump.
I mean, honestly, it was kind of how his season went. Like he's a shooter. Like shooters are going to be streaky at points throughout the season. It's just his were a lot more dramatic than what I think most people would ideally want. Like the first month and a half, 2 months of the season, no joke, Kevin Huerter was shooting 50% from 3. Like that was a very real thing that we were going through. And it was like, is this ever going to slow down? And then it did. And he pretty much went through, that's 20% in the playoffs. I don't think it was ever that drastic in the regular season, but he would go through 50 and then have a 30 month and then have a 41 month and then have 32. And that's just kind of how it went. And again, I was never going to be big on criticizing Kevin Huerter in totality. Like, yes, he had a bad series and that should be acknowledged, to your point, but I wasn't going to make some grand statement like people have made of Kevin Huerter should just be traded. He should be gone because he had a bad playoff series. It's like, he played really well for 82 games. Am I going to really let go of him because he had a bad 7 games? And it was a pretty bad 7 games at that, but you just can't make a grand sweeping
you're right.
judgment based off of 7 games.
A player who's proven that he can do that over 82 games is a valuable asset.
Absolutely.
Just it was an odd year for him last year, as you mentioned. And one of the things that was odd was the fact that he had his lowest free throw percentage of his career. A guy shooting lights out from the 3-point line.
It was so bad.
And it was like 725, which isn't horrible. But for Kevin Herter, it's like, I'm sure he would tell you, oh, I can do that in my sleep.
Yeah, no, that he could probably legitimately do that blindfolded. Like he has not been a bad free throw shooter his entire career. And it was something that was super strange last year. Like it even got to the point where, when you're slumping from the free throw line, a lot of the times you're not going to acknowledge it. Like it's just, sometimes you miss them. Sometimes I just got to focus more. It got to the point where they acknowledged it. Like Kevin was openly talking about it. I think even here on this station, he was talking about it. He stopped taking technical free throws because he was like, I can't just keep missing these things and messing it up for my team. So that was definitely something that was definitely concerning. But I just don't believe that that's him. I think another year of being even more familiar with the system, again, even more shooters on the team. I think that this year is going to be a really big season for Kevin Herter, especially from an efficiency standpoint.
Yeah, you just hope that there's no hangover from that.
Right.
But I think one good thing from the Kings standpoint is that if he does struggle from that, or just has struggles at any point during the season, they have so many more options now, especially if Davion is able to shoot the ball better.
Like your prediction.
Davion talks about if I can make more shots, I stay on the floor longer, maybe at the expense of Kevin Herter.
Right. Definitely could be. And, Malik Monk, I think, is primed to have a bigger role this season after how well he played in the
playoffs.
Have him
starting a lot of games.
I do.
You?
I really think he's going to end up being a everyday
Kyle
starter.
Draper didn't care for that prediction.
He did not. I'm telling you, like, this man's contract is up at the end of this year. They've got to convince him to stay. And I just don't know if Malik Monk wants to be a sixth man the rest of his career. Now, you and I watch basketball all the time. We probably both know, I think I can speak for you, that I think that's his best role as an NBA player. But whether or not he believes that, I have a tough time believing. I think Malik thinks that he can be a really big impact starter. And I feel like that's going to be the number one thing that he pursues. I think he's going to view this stint in Sacramento as kind of a rehabilitation of his career, and he's going to try and, good on him, but I think he's going to try and take it to another height after this offseason.
One thing I'll say about the Warriors, I think they deserve credit for the job they did defensively on Herter. And some of it we know you saw is like, it's an open three. He missed some, but I think over the course of a 7-game series, I think the Warriors do a good job. It was more obvious with Sabonis, the job they did on him.
Yeah.
But I think they know, hey, this is where he likes to shoot. Don't let him shoot from here.
Right.
Things like that that can impact his numbers.
I just think
he still should be higher, but
I think the Warriors did a good job on defense in general. Like they held the Kings under 100, or in that game 7, the Kings scored 100. In that game 3, they scored 97. The Kings were the highest scoring team in the NBA last year. And the fact that Golden State really, to me, the big reason why I think the Kings should be hurt by that playoff series, we've talked about it. They should have won that series. They played down to the Warriors that entire series. There was no reason. The offense wasn't clicking the way it was. The only game where they kind of looked like themselves was a game they lost in game 4. And besides that, they just never in totality got their offense going. And that to me was the biggest reason why they lost, was just as a team, they pretty much crapped the bed for 3 or 4 games.
Coming up, 2 of our hottest topics of the day collide. If NFL teams were pies, that's coming up in the Factor Fantasy Showdown.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, you're not ready for that, huh?
No, I'm ready. I was born ready.
It's next to the Factor Fantasy Showdown, Sactown Sports.
Whitey and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Will Brandon Ayuk emerge as a star in the Bay this season?
Now going to throw for the end zone, wide open, Brandon Ayuk.
Can Fred Warner lead the Niners defense to another deep playoff run?
And Fred Warner with the INT.
Pick City, baby. Will Brock Purdy hold on to his starting quarterback job?
Purdy going to drop back to pass, try to run forward and go to the end zone standing.
Down and Purdy, baby.
Tune into Niners at 9 every day on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
On Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
At aimyourdigital.com, we'll help you target the right audience, build your leads, and crush your quota. Take your business to the next level. Our digital marketing strategies help grow awareness of your product or service, all while building trust in your business. Our approach involves leveraging multiple tools and strategies to deliver exceptional results that are customized to your unique business needs. Don't wait to run out of sales leads. Keep your business growing. Get started with aimyourdigital.com today.
When you're young, Life is full of choices. Don't let opioids like highly addictive and deadly fentanyl take away your life and your choices with just one wrong pill. Addiction is a disease that can affect anyone at any age, but there is a choice to get help for this disease. Find medically proven treatment options, including virtual, at choosemat.org.
Hey, you want to be around people having a great time? You need to come check out Capital Casino, offering the most varieties of table games in the region in the friendliest environment. Come for the food, which is awesome, of course, and stay and play. Conveniently located in downtown Sacramento at 411 North 16th Street, right there in downtown Sacramento for over 20 years. Cap Casino, best food, best games, and of course, the best action. And please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
The Business of Sport with Kelly Brothers, brought to you by Cap Trust, one of the nation's largest registered investment advisors. Cap Trust counts among its clients numerous pro athletes and pro sports franchises. Meet certified financial planner Kelly Brothers. Kelly is an advisor with Cap Trust who serves many Northern Californians through comprehensive financial planning. Get your retirement savings to play ball with your retirement plan. Call Cap Trust today at 916-924-7527 or log on to captrust.com. Summertime and River Cats baseball are the perfect pairing. The only thing missing is you. With weekly promotions, premium giveaway games, and unique theme nights, there's fun for everyone at Sutter Health Park. Stick around postgame every Friday and Saturday night as we light up the sky with the brightest fireworks in town. Visit rivercats.com to purchase tickets.
When it breaks,
We have it first.
It's Sactown Sports breaking news.
Oh boy. Talk about breaking news.
What do you got for us, Chris Watkins?
This is from Adam Schefter, so you know it's real.
According to sources,
Nick Bosa has agreed to a 5-year, $170 million extension with the San Francisco 49ers, putting him at $34 million per year average. This is including a $122.5 million guarantee. By a wide margin, he is now the highest paid defensive player in NFL history.
Woo!
Wow. So how about that?
Huge sigh of relief coming
Massive.
from the Santa Clara area. That's from Kyle Shanahan right now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You can hear that. You can probably feel the breeze of that sigh all the way here in Sacramento. They had to get it done, man. Again, like the Niners really had no leverage in these arguments. If they wanted to be taken seriously as a Super Bowl team this year, they needed 97 out there. They needed Nick Bosa. And, now that it's done, this is finally – Whitey, dare I say, does this sound like positive news from the 49ers right now?
Definitely.
Wait, are they allowed to do that?
Definitely.
I don't know if they're allowed to do that. It feels like after this offseason of just negativity and negative thing after negative thing after negative thing, it was just destined to be all negative news from the Niners. But obviously, this is the best possible news they could have gotten. And Bosa is now locked in for the next 5 years as setting that edge.
Mm-hmm. Good for them. Good for him.
Yeah.
Win-win.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, he deserves after winning Defensive Player of the Year last year, routinely up towards the top of the league in sacks. He deserved this money. It's good on the Niners that they got it done. It's, of course, as I've been saying, it's unfortunate that they couldn't have made this process a little bit easier and a little less stressful. But at the end of the day, deal is done, and that's all you got to say. And he also got it done with enough time for him to get ready for Sunday, which is, I think, just all across the board. I think it's a win.
His dad, John Bosa, was picked in the first round. And in the late 80s, he had no value anymore. He got hurt. And then, so he went from being a first round pick to being just nobody. Dolphins, nobody, no other team was going to have any sympathy for him. So he learned that lesson. And of course, Joey, Nick's brother, was a training camp holdout into late August before signing his rookie deal with the Chargers in 2016. He took negotiations down to the wire in 2020 on a 5-year, $135 million extension.
Chump change.
So you knew, and the 49ers knew that with that kind of family background and history, there was no way Nick Bosa was going to blink on this.
No. Yeah, no.
There was no way. It was not going to happen.
To the Bosa's credit, the Bosa family credit, yeah, like they knew what they were doing. Again, they knew that the 49ers really had minimal leverage in this, especially, again, the Niners did themselves no favors in gaining leverage with the circus that has been this offseason. But yeah, again, the important thing is that the deal is done. It's wrapped up. This is no longer a distraction, even if you would argue that it never was. I think John Lynch had made it clear that he had an expectation on when he was hoping this deal would be done. We are much past that date, but Bosa, I have no doubt that he's ready to go. I guarantee he's in football shape. And, again, with what, 3 or 4 days left until the start of the season, this was about the latest that this deal could have been done. I was hearing that Friday was also a possibility as like a real last minute potential, but you get it done today. I'm sure, we were hearing he wasn't in the building today.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure he'll be there tomorrow, go through some walkthroughs and it'll all be good. I mean, the Niners official chase for a ring, I think officially starts now. Like,
that's a great point.
There's no doubt.
I think you're right. And I also think there's no need to worry about, well, he's not in game shape. He hasn't played because we know that he's been staying in shape and nobody knows better than he what exactly he needs to be in as far as his condition to play pro football. And you could even argue that maybe there's some upside there. He's taken less of a pounding here
100%.
Before the season starts.
So be fresh. I mean, there's no reason for him to feel worn down at all from training camp or from, preseason or anything like that. Like, he should be fresh, ready to go for week one. And the Niners are going to need him. I mean, we've been talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
We've been pretty much assuming he wasn't going to play this entire time, but now that he is, I mean, again, this is good energy heading into that first game. I was talking earlier about how it's just negative vibes and you just don't want that heading into against the team that in Pittsburgh that's feeling really good about themselves. This is finally some good energy for the Niners. And kind of like I just said, this feels like everybody can look around and say, all right, I think we're past all the drama now. This is real. Football's around the corner. We got our guy here. Let's go. Like, this is, we have real mission this year to get over the hump. And this is obviously a really good step towards that.
Still a little bit of kicker drama, but that really doesn't seem like such a big problem now.
So minimal
compared to this. Again, the story is, and we're moving factor fantasy here because we just got Chris got the breaking news. Nick Bosa agreeing to a 5-year, $170 million extension with the 49ers, including $122.5 million guaranteed.
Right.
It will make him the highest paid defensive player in history.
Wow.
Take
that, Aaron Donald.
Yeah. By a looks like by a wide margin.
Yeah, by a huge margin. I mean, even for edge rushers, I think TJ was at the highest at 28. And he blows that out of the water now, making 34 per year. And it's not even an overpay. Like you were really quick to point it out a couple weeks ago. Like, this team doesn't have realistic Super Bowl expectations without Bosa. And so if they wanted to be taken seriously, or if they wanted to be serious about this Super Bowl run this season, where with their championship window closing or whatever the talk is, they had to get this done and they had to get him on the field by any means necessary. And I'm glad, I'm glad that he got paid. I'm glad, that the Niners are again full steam towards the championship now. And it's now it's going to be fun looking forward. How are they going to balance this cap out? And that's a conversation for a different further time. But it's a lot of money that they just paid this guy.
Yeah, and I think the fact that they're making this move to pay him this much does speak to the realization that, well, we have a shot this year.
Absolutely.
And we'll wait and hear about some of the particulars and the cap implications of those particulars. But it's pretty clear here that the calculation is, well, if we have a chance to win this year, and so we're going to have to pay him. And we knew this is what it would come to.
Yeah.
And I really do think that what it's been is not so much, well, we're not going to call them. We'll wait for them to call us, as it's been the 49ers trying to figure out a way to make it work. You want this? All right, we're going to have to try to figure out some ways to do that, but we're going to try to do that.
Yeah.
And they did.
Yeah, and they did. And that's the most important thing, is that they got it done, and you'll figure all that stuff out later. I mean, NFL cap is a myth. Like, you can adjust and you can restructure salaries moving forward to make the make the deal not as painful on your cap. But the important thing, again, is that they got it done. He's going to be ready for week 1, and there's just no more distractions for the most part. I mean, you got rid of Trey Lance and that distraction, whether that was, Trey's fault or not, or whoever you want to blame on that. You're right to mention the Moody situation or the kicker situation in total is still a question, and Kittle is still a question about his health. But, the most important thing was Nick Bosa and making sure that this defense was going to be up to standard of what they've been these past couple of years. And there was just no way that they were going to be able to keep that standard up without their best defender.
Even if this gets to the point where, and it may already be there, we don't know the particulars of it. We just found out the news that Bosa has signed his extension. But let's say that this makes it less likely they keep Ayuk around next year.
Right.
Or maybe.
Or Debo even, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Those guys are
not ideal, but okay.
I hate to say it, but yeah, absolutely. Those guys, you can figure it out. You can definitely figure it out without those guys, but you can't just find another Nick Bosa. I mean, and he was also the crown jewel of when the Niners had one really bad year and they used it to get Nick Bosa. If you were to just lose that piece, I mean, it would all be for nothing, and you already kind of messed up the Trey pick, and you couldn't go this. There was rumors earlier this week or last week that they might look to trade Nick Bosa. To me, that was, again, if they wanted to be taken seriously as a Super Bowl contender, you just had to have this guy on your team. And the fact that they locked him down, not only for this year, but for the next 5 years or 6 years, I guess, that's just massive for the Niners trying to extend this championship window. Like, Bosa is going to be an incredibly valuable player all throughout this contract. Like, there's no sign of him slowing down at any point here.
Did you see who the team was that, according to reports, had actually
inquired? No.
Their quarterback believes in UFOs.
Really?
Yeah. According to reports, the Jets had inquired. Doesn't mean that they were negotiating, but it was reported that the Jets were a team that had inquired about, hey, what's going on here?
That's interesting, because I don't feel like that would, I mean, again, we're talking about Bosa. He's definitely is a calculus changer, but I wouldn't think that that's what they really need.
I don't know if this one had anything to do with the other, but the Raiders had renegotiated Jimmy G's contract yesterday.
Interesting.
Creating about, I think, $16 million in cap space.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah.
That maybe that had nothing to do with this, but I think it raised some eyebrows.
Good news is, all that's out the window now. I mean, there's really no question that again, they're going to keep Bosa at least for the foreseeable future until this window is closed, and he's going to be a massive piece. Like, getting to the quarterback is really the, if you, especially the Niners, in their secondary questions, a quick fire way to shore up any doubts that you have in your secondary is by having an elite defensive line. And now with Bosa, with Hargrave, with Armstead, and, Cleve Farrell playing really well, and Drake Jackson, 49ers defensive line is elite. Like, this is something that they can really hang their hats on, and something that they can carry through this entire season, and know that they are going to walk into every week and be a problem for quarterbacks.
It's another reminder that it seems counterintuitive for all the focus on the 49ers and what they do offensively, but their most unique player on the roster is Nick Bosa.
Yes.
And Nick Bosa, again,
that's saying a lot in a roster full of incredibly unique guys.
5-year, $170 million extension, $122.5 million guaranteed. So he is the highest paid defensive player, or will be once he signs it, in history.
Incredible.
Reprieve for you. So the Factor Fantasy Showdown moves to 115.
Okay, have some time to breathe and get ready for it.
Get ready for the pie questions.
Yeah.
Coming up next, more on Nick Bosa's new deal. And I'll tell you what, this is what's going to drive 49er fans crazy about Brock Purdy this season. Pardon me, about Brock Purdy. That's next year with Whitey and Watkins on Sactown Sports.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Who do they decide on for the Super Bowl?
What do you mean, halftime act?
Yeah. I know that Taylor Swift...
Yeah, turn them down, right?
At what point do people turn on Taylor Swift to be like, why don't you lower your prices? And I understand the whole Ticketmaster thing, but what about the merch? Like, legit, do you have to make $1 billion? Could you make 500 million? Could you?
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross. Weekday mornings from 6 to 10 on Sactown Sports.
All new spring deals are here at Lowe's. Start planting your garden this weekend with Bonnie 11.8-ounce vegetables. Buy 4 for $10. Plus, liven up your patios and decks with fresh blooms. Select 1.5-gallon hanging baskets or 2 for $20. Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows home improvement. Offers valid through 5/17. In-store only. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. While supplies last, excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Hi, it's Brian Bennett from Bennett's Restaurants in Roseville and Sacramento, and our newest restaurant, Bennett's West Side Grill at Rockland's Blue Oak Town Center on Lone Tree Boulevard. We believe in serving the freshest handcrafted foods in a warm, convivial setting. Our restaurants are roasting hand-selected prime ribs of beef every week on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and all prime rib specials come with your choice of homemade soup or a fresh green salad. And as many have found out, we also pack these dinners to go. Order online at bennettsrestaurants.com. Having a meeting or large group dinner? Our newest restaurant in Rockland features 3 different event-sized spaces for large group gatherings. 80 guests, no problem. Bennett's Kitchen Bar and Market, Eureka and Lead Hill Roads in Roseville, and Bennett's American Cooking on Fair Oaks and Howe in Sacramento. And our brand new Bennett's West Side Grill at Rockland, Blue Oak Town Center on Lone Tree Boulevard. Come let us put a smile on your face and enjoy our hospitality. Find us on the web at bennettsrestaurants.com and book a reservation today. Eat well, stay well, and remember, Bennett's is where you'll always receive a hospitable welcome.
Every business seeks an advantage, whether it's having the best location, hiring top talent, or spotting trends before they happen. And now, the United States Postal Service can give your business a new advantage. Introducing USPS Ground Advantage. Reliable and affordable 2 to 5 day package shipping. It's the advantage you need at the price you want. Get the Ground Advantage at USPS.com/advantage. The United States Postal Service, delivering for America.
Freshness made easy with Febreze small spaces.
Want continuous freshness that fights odors with no batteries and no outlets? Try Febreze small spaces. Ah, but what's a small space? To answer that, we brought in our lawyer.
Small spaces include, but are not limited to, bathrooms, closets, laundry room, kid room, pet corners, man cave, shoe sheds, most nooks, and all crannies.
There you go. Febreze Small Spaces is the world's most convenient. Febreze Small Spaces is super convenient and never stops freshening for 45 days.
Free happy Febreze, la 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 la.
Your 3-time defending Big Sky Conference champions, the Sacramento State Hornets, are back at Hornet Stadium this Saturday, September 9th. It's Kids Day with fun for the whole family. And stick around after the game with post-game fireworks. Kickoff is at 7 p.m. Get your tickets now at hornetsports.com. Don't miss any of the action this year as the Hornets swarm the Big Sky in search of a 4th straight Big Sky championship. Get your tickets now at hornetsports.com. That's hornetsports.com. Stingers up.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Take it on the local level.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios. Sactown Sports. Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
I'm Christopher Lott with your Sactown Sports headlines. The 49ers finally got their man. Nick Bosa and the Niners have agreed to a 5-year, $122.5 million guaranteed contract extension, which makes him the highest paid defensive player in NFL history, according to ESPN's Adam Schefter. The Niners' first game of the season will be this Sunday when they take on the Steelers on the road. You can listen to Sunday's game right here on Sactown Sports. This morning, Team Canada advanced to the FIBA World Cup semifinals with a 189 win over Slovenia. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was the leading scorer with 31 points. He also had 10 rebounds and 4 assists. Luka Doncic, on the other hand, he was the leading scorer for Slovenia with 26, but that left the big man unsatisfied with the loss. Your Sacramento State Hornets kick off the 2023 football season this Saturday, September 9th. Kickoff is at 7 p.m. Get your tickets at hornetsports.com. Stingers up. Those are your headlines. Now let's get back to Whitey and Watkins.
Huge NFL news today. Breaking NFL news this afternoon. That news, of course, is that Joshua Dobbs will start at quarterback for the Cardinals. Chris, what do you
That is breaking.
Wait, that's
oh
not.
my gosh, that's incredible.
That's not this. I'm sorry, that's my mistake.
I actually do have more,
a bigger story,
possibly more breaking news for you. This is from. That should be the new breaking news alarm. This is from David Lombardi, who covers the 49ers for The Athletic.
Yes.
You'll love this news. 49ers rookie kicker Jake Moody is expected to be ready for Sunday's season opener in Pittsburgh.
What an afternoon for a 49er fan.
This is all hits, no misses for him right now. This is just
Money.
Yeah. Just absolutely incredible news for the 49ers. They can't lose now. I mean, they got their Money Moody back. They got Moneybags Bosa.
Yes.
Bosa.
There you go. I know Simone was hoping to do a Bosa version of your pretzel call.
How about that?
5 years, $170 million.
Pretzel. Oh man. They gotta adopt it, man. I'm telling you, if you really want to be slinging the pretzels out there, you gotta
get the Bubba Bosa for him, Chris.
Bosa.
I mean, they could play that at Levi's after every sack.
Every time he gets a sack. Bosa. Sorry if I'm blowing out anybody's ears on that.
No, I'm sorry because I wanted to make sure that I didn't step on that either end of that. 5 years, $170 million. So yeah, everything's looking up all of a sudden.
Incredible.
We started the show literally by talking about, things are less than ideal. Oh, at the opener coming up, and now, now
everything's
Pittsburgh still looks like they're a good club, but you got Bosa, or as you call him,
Bosa. Bosa. Not to be confused with Sacramento Kings assistant head coach Leandro Barbosa.
Right.
Yeah, I might have pushed that one a little bit too far.
And who did you say is a healthy now?
And your boy Money Moody.
Yeah.
Moody.
Okay, we can't do this for every player.
I know. Yeah, this is going to be a problem. But definitely a lot of positives all of a sudden happening for the 49ers. And I can't tell if this is live or not, but it might be Kyle Shanahan speaking to the press right now. So seems like a lot of positives happening. And as a matter of fact, Niners, maybe it was in this Shanahan press conference, but they've named their 6 captains. Would you like to guess who they are?
Trey Lance is not one of them.
He is not. No, he did not make the cut, unfortunately.
Brock Purdy.
Brock Purdy is correct.
Trent Williams.
That is correct.
Fred Warner.
That is correct.
Nick Bosa?
Incorrect. It must have been because they weren't sure he was going to be there. Was he a captain last year? I think he was.
I think he was.
Yeah. Maybe
remember last year was an issue because Trey Lance wasn't last year either.
Oh.
And I understand this year.
Right.
Well, who are the rest?
The others
McCaffrey?
Are not Christian McCaffrey.
Okay.
Deebo Samuel. Deebo Samuel is one. As is Sacramento's own Eric Armstead gets the C on his chest. So Eric Armstead, Brock Purdy, Deebo Samuel, George Kittle, Fred Warner, and Trent Williams all will have the C's on their chest.
Mm-hmm. Did you see that the Pittsburgh Steelers have only one offensive captain, and it's their quarterback?
Really? Kenny Pickett?
Yes.
Wow. That's
Coach Tomlin said that's no
interesting.
disrespect to any of the other players, but he's the captain. He's the quarterback.
Yeah, he's the captain now. I mean, that's whatever. I mean, Pittsburgh's offense isn't, even their team in general isn't really full of veteran guys, and so it makes sense. But the 49ers, all those guys that I just named for their captains, all those guys are just incredibly obviously recognizable, but some just elite players all throughout their roster.
All of a sudden, things really looking up for the 49ers. There is one thing about Brock Purdy and I'm a Purdy believer. I believe in him, and I think he is the real deal. I do think we're going to see some things this year from him at times that are going to drive some fans crazy, especially those who aren't all the way on board with him yet.
Yes.
Because there are those who still think Trey Lance is way better than this guy, and he's not that good. He played a few games, and, there's a reason why he was the last player picked in the draft.
Right.
Brock Purdy ranked 29th in off-target percentage last season out of passers with at least 200 attempts. He's not always the most accurate passer.
Sure.
And he was last year. He was a rookie, so you figure, it should get better. But that's an area in which he has to get better. And I think he's going to end up throwing more interceptions this year.
I would imagine so. I mean, last year was like 16-4, I think, or something like that. It was his touchdown to interception ratio. It was, it makes sense.
He ranked 17th worst in, bear with me now, turnover worthy play percentage, according to Pro Football Focus.
Okay.
So that's like I throw it to Chris, but it goes, it bounces off your
Sure.
chest.
Like that was turnover worthy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, turnover worthy. So
okay. Sure. I mean, why not? I guess someone's got to keep track of that.
Footballically speaking.
Yes.
Thank you.
Footballically speaking.
I remember he had in a Seattle game, he had a defender drop, and he had an interception against Tampa Bay that was wiped out by a penalty.
Yeah. I mean, that's definitely going to be something that I'm looking for is how many bad plays does Brock Purdy make this year? Because I mean, you look at all the successful ones, and it's a lot of wide open receivers who make a lot of yak yards. I guess that's kind of redundant, but
right.
I mean, a lot of it was throwing to open receivers, and when you're throwing to open receivers, you better hope that your quarterback isn't missing them at an extreme rate.
You know how people say he's a game manager, not a gunslinger?
Yes.
He kind of thinks he's a gunslinger sometimes.
Yeah.
And again,
sure.
I think he's going to be an excellent quarterback.
Yeah.
And I think he's going to win at least one Super Bowl. But I think there are going to be times this year, especially because there's so much scrutiny on did they do the right thing? Last year was like, well, they have no other choice. He's got to play.
He's got to play.
This year, it's like, well, why did they get rid of Trey Lance?
His one true love, Sam Darnold's right behind, or I should say Kyle Shanahan's one true love, Sam Darnold's right behind him.
Well, his one true love is your guy.
My guy.
Your guy. I'm hurt.
That is a good point. That's right. I actually forgot about Kyle's affinity for Kirk Cousins for a minute.
I'm hurt.
There he is. Listen,
did you see your boy on the Manning cast?
I did. Yeah, on the Manning cast auditions.
Yeah,
he's really playing that. You like that? That's just he's gonna go down with that ship. He's never gonna let that.
They probably told him to say that.
I'm sure,
like, okay,
for sure. Great acting job too. Kirk
Pretty
Cousins.
good.
He's got a future. He's got a future in Hollywood.
But I think at his worst, Brock Purdy, he's kind of like a gunslinger with a pop gun. Because he doesn't have the strongest arm.
Yeah.
But he's got that, I'm going to make this play.
Yeah.
That doesn't always go well. And I'm sure it's going to be something, if it is a problem, that he's going to learn because he's very smart.
Sorry. I was going to say, he's got one of those guns where it says bang when you.
Yes, exactly. And when you're a gunslinger, it's like, all right, let's go.
Yeah.
I think there are going to be issues with that this year as far as some fans are concerned, but I still think he's going to ultimately end up being the best quarterback they've had in many years.
I have been concerned about the Brock Purdy getting better than last year thing. I'm not entirely certain that's going to be like just a given because of the fact
there could be regression.
He didn't throw all off season. A part of getting better is just, okay, like I'm throwing to receivers all summer long, a lot more comfortable, all that stuff. And maybe he could have done some watching, an incredible amount of watching tape, and maybe he just has a better understanding of the game and the speed of the game now. But he wasn't throwing all offseason long to receivers. I mean, he was throwing towels and progressing up to a football, and he really didn't play until training camp. So I don't 100% think it's a given that he's just going to be light years better than he was last year because he didn't get the reps in all summer long.
Yeah, and somebody was saying, I think it was JT O'Sullivan, was saying his junior year at Iowa State, Purdy was really good. And the next year as a senior, in some ways, he wasn't as good.
Really?
So there's going to be some volatility that we still don't know. All I'm saying is there is going to be some of that regression, and some people are going to overreact to it.
Absolutely.
It is going to be maddening, but ultimately, I think they have the right guy.
I think so too, especially just with.
Although I still don't get the whole throwing towels. Throwing towels? What?
It was very confusing. That whole recovery period was just. It was a learning day every single day for me. I mean, I just had no idea that was part of the I don't.
I guess I get it. It has
I
to
understand.
Do with the weight and the resistance.
But it's like, why do anything? I think of the options that they
Nerf
had.
Football or something. It's
exactly my thought. Yeah, it's like you can find lighter things, but I think I agree with you that the hand that they were dealt between Trey Lance, between Brock Purdy and Sam Darnold, I still will fight that Brock Purdy is the right option to go to. I don't think Sam Darnold's going to be the savior that I think Kyle kind of believes that he can be this season. I think that they should. You've kind of already made your bed with Brock. I think you just kind of need to lay in it at this point until the wheels fall off.
Yeah. If Sam Darnold ends up playing, are you going to do a
Darnold? It's going to sound a lot more condescending though.
No, it sounds like goofy or something.
Yeah. Darnold.
Yeah.
Gosh, Darnold. Darnold.
It's a good day to be a 49er fan and a 49er coach.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. It's a lot better than it was yesterday or 2 or 3 weeks ago for sure. I mean, this is the first positive thing I think that's happened to the Niners since training camp began.
You could tell when you read or heard Hufanga's quotes that, okay, they're worried about this. Like,
yes.
We would love to have him here, but we have to just assume he won't be here.
Right.
He's great. We'd love to have him, but we just got to assume he's not going to be there. We got to prepare as if he's not going to be with us against.
I'm sure they're throwing a party in that locker room right now. Like they have to be so excited that he's there. And again, I just think that it's a good symbol to the team of like, I know we've been talking a lot this season about our aspirations, but like this guy is here. Let's lock in. Like it's time to go. Like we are just as serious as you guys are about winning this year.
Russell on the chat says they're giving Bosa over $30 million a year. Better win it all this year. Their cap is screwed. Bold prediction: 49ers won't make the NFC Championship game this year.
Yeah, I mean they had to give him over $30 million. Like there's just no
that's
other
in the spirit
option.
of Wet Blanket Wednesday.
It
Russell.
is.
It certainly
definitely
is.
Yeah. I mean, it would definitely be incredibly disappointing for the 49ers organization if they don't at least make the NFC Championship. I mean, their goals are a lot further than that, but there's obviously there's a chance, but I mean, the 49ers have done a great job of stacking their roster to the point where there's so many fail safes they have that as long as, again, Trent Williams and Nick Bosa aren't the ones getting hurt, I feel like they're going to be one of the best teams in the NFL, even through injury.
Coming up here, as promised,
yes.
If NFL teams were pies in the Factor Fantasy Showdown, it's next. Sactown Sports.
Can the Niners build off their NFC Championship appearance from last season? How will the quarterbacks perform throughout the year?
Purdy back, now going to throw for the end zone, wide open, Brandon Ayuk is on fire!
Will the defense lead this squad again?
Intercepted! Ball got tipped up and taken by Fred Warner!
Get all your 49er coverage throughout the NFL season on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
I suffered with plantar fasciitis for almost 20 years.
I thought that foot pain was going to be with me for the rest of my life.
If you suffer with plantar fasciitis, the search for pain relief can feel like an endless and hopeless ordeal.
I would try drugstore, insoles and supports.
I've been through surgeries, foot injections.
I was trying all different things. Not a single one worked.
If you think you've tried everything to relieve your foot pain, you probably haven't tried arch supports from the Good Feet store.
And then I was driving past the Good Feet store, and I thought, why not? Give it a try. They wanted to make sure that they gave me the right arch support for my feet. Then it was like, okay, this is different. These make a difference.
I don't have foot pain anymore. I'm so glad I met Good Feet. It changed my life.
See how Good Feet arch supports work for you before you buy with a free fitting and test walk at the Good Feet store.
The Good Feet store. Come in now for a free arch support fitting and test walk.
At your desk, on your phone,
in the car.
Whitey and Watkins.
On Sactown Sports.
Heading for a showdown. Believe it or not, I think I have a little bit of a winning streak going.
I've heard. Yeah, I've heard you've just been running wild without me here.
But all the haters say put an asterisk by most of those victories because Chris hasn't been here.
I mean, yeah, it's
I
only
would say
fair.
that's harder. You have to go up against different opponents each and every day.
I'm telling you, it's really tough to be in this seat, and you don't really know it until you go through it. Like you got to go through a couple factor fantasies before you feel really confident in your arguments, and then judge. Like people are afraid of you, and I think people are afraid of what your rulings are going to be, and it just kind of takes a while to just kind of get the confidence.
Speaking of, and I'll remove my helmet out of respect. I'll rise for the honorable judge for law now entering our courtroom.
You may be seated.
Thank you.
What do you think you for taking off your hat? That was very.
I'm not taking
welcome, Your Honor. May I put it back on?
Yes, you may.
Thank
of course,
you.
You're the winner. Of course, you can.
Woo! Boy, oh boy.
So, I want to see where we're going with this here.
Yeah, we do have some of them.
Some have changed.
So the testimony
independent,
is no longer relevant. Yes.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to come up with another because one is Nick Bosa. Will he be playing for the 49ers this Sunday?
That's a fact. That's a fact, sir.
I mean, it would be impressive if one of you guys had
That's a
fantasy and
fantasy.
it didn't happen.
Absolutely.
So, all right, let's go with this. NFL teams should be vigorously pursuing Deion Sanders as a head coach this offseason. Fact or fantasy, Whitey?
That is fantasy, Your Honor. He's coached one game and done a phenomenal job. And the pregame speech, or was it the postgame speech? Both. Just to have people talking, tongues wagging, people ready to run through brick walls. But it's only been one game. Let's give him at least, more than just one season. I want to see if I'm an NFL team. I'm very interested, but 1 year at Colorado is not going to be enough. So I wouldn't vigorously pursue him this offseason. I feel like it's too small of a sample size. Even though he's got a lot of potential and obviously a lot of magnetism, to me, one season as a coach of Colorado is not enough to prove to me that he's worth investing a lot of money in to run my NFL team.
Yeah, this is in fact, this is a fantasy. And the main thing is Deion Sanders has really proven himself as a recruiter first and foremost. As a head coach, there's still a lot to be seen. I mean, yes, he did have a really impressive record at Jackson State. And he did win his first game here at Colorado, but still yet a lot to be proven on the coaching side. Where Deion has really made his money is as a recruiter. I mean, he got Travis Hunter, the #1 recruit in high school, to come to Jackson State and then to follow him over to Colorado. They had something crazy like 50 people go to Colorado via the transfer portal. That's where Deion has really been able to build this team up. Starting from year one is through recruiting. And as guys like Nick Saban and Urban Meyer have had to learn the hard way, when you can't pick your own players and NFL guys have a lot more opinions, it's just a lot harder to coach those guys. And it's not quite the same as college football. So I think just right now, Deion's still got a little bit left to prove.
Man, you got the music that they play like at the Academy.
I know. It felt like it's like, geez, all right, sorry. I apologize.
Great point there. I mean, you guys make great points.
Thank you.
Whitey, I'm going to give it to you because I feel like Chris was filibustering in my courtroom.
That's insane.
So you get the point.
You got the walk-off music.
I did.
I didn't even know they had
I didn't
that.
either. I had
It's an
no
orchestra.
idea. I know. It threw me off, and I still kept going. I thought it would be more impressive.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. With the news of Nick Bosa, Joey is making $27 million a year. Nick making well over 30. The Bosas are the first family of football right now. Fact or fantasy, Chris?
It's a fantasy. Because the first family of football right now is the Kelceys. I mean, they were literally both in the Super Bowl last year where they faced off Eagles against Chiefs. They have an incredible podcast together. Yes, the Bosas are making a ton of money, but the Kelceys are really the brotherly face of the NFL right now. So much so that their mom has even became a story of who are you rooting for? And I'm sorry, I don't see any Bosa parents on TV right now.
With Joey making $27 million a year, Nick making way more than that now, the Bosas are the first family of football right now. Fact or fantasy? That is a fantasy. It's not the Kelceys, however, especially with one of them seriously injured. All the best to him and them. It's still the first family of football in our country remains the Mannings. The Manning cast is terrific. It's the best way to watch Monday Night Football. I was never a huge Peyton guy, but he and his brother are tremendous. It's like all of a sudden Eli on TV, oh, he's actually a human being. He has a personality. I didn't know that. Plus Archie, and then the younger brother who's a sensational college star. The Mannings, from the grandfather all the way down, the sons, the grandson, the Mannings remain football's first family. Bless them.
What is Peyton Manning's mother's name, Whitey?
Olivia?
You know what?
I was not expecting an actual answer.
I got to give it to you.
Thank you.
I thought I was going to trick you with that. Say like, oh, I don't know. And I'm like, well, Chris made a great point of even their mother's a star. Whitey, you get the point, a surprising point. Congratulations.
Really surprising, especially considering none of the Mannings are even in the NFL right now. Really impressive.
The question was football, not the NFL.
I understand that, but
And we get to our final question.
Oh, jeez.
The one I know that Chris has been waiting for the most, but I'm going to let you start with it, Whitey.
Okay.
If the NFL teams were pies, the 49ers would be a delicious
I hate you guys.
fruit-packed apple pie, fact or fantasy.
Well, Your Honor, you're just making my mouth water, but that is a fantasy. Nothing against a delicious fruit-packed apple pie, but the 49ers with the tremendous offense. Very sweet, light, with the wide zone scheme. They're like a very fluffy, delicious, sugary meringue. Then that defense holding down the bottom end of the squad. They are the lemon filling, and then the crust, of course, the great coaching of Kyle Shanahan. The 49ers, if they're a pie, they're a very delicious, the blend of the sugary, creamy meringue and the tangy lemon meringue pie is what the 49ers would be, Your Honor.
You really gave this a lot of thought. It's a fantasy. Because it's not the 49ers that are a fruit-packed apple pie. It's, and when you think of apple pie, you think of America. And America's team is truly the Kansas City Chiefs, who are led by Patrick Mahomes. When I think of what is America, I think of Patrick Mahomes and everything that he does, how fantastic he is. And there's nothing more American than just slinging that football around the way Patrick Mahomes does.
Objection.
Yeah.
He's a big Mahomes guy, and you're
I had
clearly
no idea.
curring the court's favor.
No idea.
Okay.
I had literally
Withdrawn.
no idea.
Overruled.
Withdrawn.
Yeah,
Okay.
I had literally no idea. I have no idea what you're talking about.
So that was the final question of the day.
Yep.
You both made incredible points.
Thank you.
Such an incredible point that question is worth 3 points.
Oh, I feel it coming.
And that goes to you, Whitey Gleason,
Whoa!
with the amazing lemon meringue pie for the 49ers. I want a slice right now. Congratulations.
Thank you, Your Honor. Appreciate that very much. Yeah. Chris?
I've got no comment. I feel like this entire episode has just been just against me, and I feel personally attacked, and for that reason, I'm putting this result under protest. This is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous.
I believe that's the 80th on the docket as of right now.
Yep. We'll get to it one day.
I mean,
just disgusting. That's a disgusting act by Whitey.
Better
Gleason.
than that. Oh, the Patrick Mahomes is an apple pie.
I'm sorry.
He's America.
Sorry
Your
if
Honor.
I don't just have a listing of NFL.
It was a list. It was a list. It sounded like desperation.
It was. I mean, I was. I had nowhere to go from there. I don't like pies. I don't know where you want me to go with that. So I've just said fact and just. I don't know how I'm supposed to say anything to that.
I don't know either. All I know is I am wearing the crown of superiority, at least for one more day. Coming up, more on Nick Bosa's massive extension. And only 3 NBA players have played in at least one playoff game every year since 2011. One of them just landed a new gig. It's coming up here. Whitey and Watkins on Bing Bong Sactown Sports.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL?
Well, Sactown Sports has you covered.
Touchdown! San Francisco! It's all on his shoulders. Cox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Labor Day, our annual celebration of workers and their achievements, was first observed in New York, and the first Monday in September became a national holiday in 1894. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. Each year we commemorate Labor Day with parades, picnics, and family gatherings. And right now, Naturewood Home Furnishings is celebrating with their exceptional whole store Labor Day sale. Would you like to refresh your living room? Would you like to restyle your bedroom? Maybe you want to redesign your home office. No matter whether it's your dining room, kids' rooms, accents, or accessories, Naturewood's unique store-wide Labor Day sale offers savings in every department and savings on every brand like Stanton, Omnia, England, Stickley, Flex Steel, and all the rest of the award-winning furniture. When it comes right down to it, it's all about choices and always about quality. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings right now for this remarkable Labor Day sale. Off Highway 50 at Hazel, look for the water wheel.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch? Every day, from lunch to late night. Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Select Twin Peaks for your fantasy football draft party. Stay cool under pressure with 29-degree draft beers, plus a $50 bonus card for the commish, and an additional $5 bonus card for every drafter. Visit TwinPeaksRestaurant.com/fantasy draft for more info.
Get ready for a night with Cole Swindell. The 2023 ACM Song of the Year winner hits Heart Health Park at Cal Expo in Sacramento, Saturday, September 9th for the CITP2 Fest. And Cole's bringing some friends like Chris Jansen, Dylan Scott, Matt Stell, and more. Tickets start at $40 at CITPFest.com.
Gold Country Casino Resort Norville is proud to present one of the most powerful voices in country music. Come on now, we're running out of moonlight. Randy Houser live in concert on Saturday, September 23rd. Let me show you how. Purchase your tickets now to see all of Randy Houser's greatest hits. Only at Gold Country Casino Resort. Must be 21 or older.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Folsom Lake Ford has trucks. The F-150s are here. Explorers, Expeditions, and a huge selection of Broncos and Bronco Sports. They're in stock now at Folsom Lake Ford. Shop Folsom Lake Ford, your truck headquarters, right here in Sacramento for your favorite Ford models at good, fair prices. Short on cash? Buy any new Ford with zero down. Save big with low interest finance rates. Plus, Folsom Lake Ford is paying top dollar for all trades. We want your vehicle regardless of mileage or condition. This could be the best time to buy a new Ford. Check out the huge inventory online at FolsomLakeFord.com or stop by the dealership and see the most recent arrivals. Looking for something special? Give them a call and tell them Doug Christie sent you. Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall, your trusted dealer, my trusted dealer for over 30 years. FolsomLakeFord.com.
Zero down with approved credit.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
I'm Christopher Laud with your Sactown Sports headlines. The 49ers finally got their man, Nick Bosa, and the Niners have agreed to a 5-year, $122.5 million guaranteed contract extension, which makes him the highest paid defensive player in NFL history, according to ESPN's Adam Schefter. The Niners' first game of the season will be this Sunday when they take on the Steelers on the road. You can listen to Sunday's game right here on Sactown Sports. This morning, Team Canada advanced to the FIBA World Cup semifinals with a 189 win over Slovenia. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was the leading scorer with 31 points. He also had 10 rebounds and 4 assists. Luka Doncic was the leading scorer for Slovenia with 26. Unfortunately for the big man, he left unsatisfied with the loss. Your Sacramento State Hornets kick off the 2023 football season this Saturday, September 9th. Kickoff is at 7 p.m. Get your tickets at hornetsports.com. Stingers up. Those are your headlines. Now let's get back to Whitey and Watkins.
Christopher Laud is really not a big Luka fan, is he?
No, he's not. I love the subtle jab there that he's throwing. The big
It was
man.
maybe subtle the first 6 times, and then it's like, okay, whoa.
Kept hammering it every half hour.
Chris, do we have Luka's comments from today with Slovenia getting knocked out of the FIBA World Cup by Canada? But Luka didn't feel like it was on the level. Here's his criticism of the officiating.
One second. It's okay. I mean, yeah, he was typical Luka fashion, he does admit that he complains a lot, but it's he didn't stop him.
The referee told one of the guys, we're not going to call a foul on him because he's coming at us. I think this is not fair. I know I complain a lot, but I don't think it's fair. The ref.
Yeah, I still don't know what he's saying isn't fair. I didn't quite understand where he was going, but he didn't like the officiating.
Yeah.
Call the ambulance.
He feels like
they told one of our guys they're not going to call a foul because he's coming after him. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it doesn't make the most sense. But it's essentially Luka's complaining because he's not getting calls. I mean, there's really nothing new to it. It's just he's doing it on the international stage now, and I mean he's crying. That's all it is. I mean, Luka does. Even I, who I feel like I'm the biggest Luka fan on this show, and even I will admit that he complains a lot, and it is definitely the thing that is least appealing about his game is just the amount of times that he's just always got something to say.
I know I complain a lot.
Exactly. Like he just shouldn't have said that. Like that's going to be used against him in the court of law. I mean, he does too. He complains a ton, and even in the international game where it was just really bad, especially today. Like the reason why he got ejected from today's game, it was over a pretty nothing, play, and he just really took issue with it. And I think, if anything, he was really just upset that they were losing, but not the way to handle it.
So they're out, and they should be, and they had a nice tournament, all things considered.
Yeah, again, Slovenia, like they are not that big of a country, especially when it comes to basketball. Like a 4th place finish is something that should be celebrated.
Yeah. So now we got Bogey and Serbia against Canada, and we got the USA against Deutschland.
Yes.
Germany.
Yes, Germany is undefeated, and it'll be
not for long.
It'll be an interesting test. I don't know, man, because Germany's actually got some bigs, and that's been the Achilles heel of this Team USA team is the fact that Jaren Jackson is not a big. He does not play big. He doesn't get rebounds, which is why I assume Josh Hart got inserted into the starting lineup.
Kessler time.
It might be. It seriously might be. We'll see. I mean, Tyrese Halliburton has had himself probably the best of any player on Team USA this tournament, and it's going to be big on the team's guards to really lead the way, because it's been a lot of Tyrese, a lot of Anthony Edwards, a good amount of Austin Reeves too, but Mikal Bridges had a really good game the other day. It's going to be on those guys to really carry this team.
You're usually pretty good at these. Can you name the 3 players to play at least one game in every postseason since 2011? Can you name any of them?
LeBron
is not one of them.
Okay, when did he miss a playoff? Oh, when they missed the playoffs, obviously. It's not Steph, because Steph also missed the playoffs. Man, that's a really good one.
I don't know that I would have gotten this. I happened to see it.
Since 2011?
Because one of them just signed a new deal.
Okay. How about Kevin Durant?
Nope, it's not Kevin Durant. Chris Paul is 1.
Okay. Oh, wow. Okay.
James Harden is 2.
That's really surprising.
And then the third, who just signed a free agent deal, agreed to a deal with Philadelphia, one of his old teams, Danny Green.
Okay. Well, except last year, because Danny Green didn't play last year, if I'm not mistaken, right?
It does say he's one of 3 players to play at least one game in every postseason since 2011.
I thought he sat out all of last year. Maybe I'm wrong, but okay. Well, that's incredible. I mean, especially because obviously those first 2 guys are stars, and then Danny has been pretty much a role player, a really good role player at that. But even since Spurs days, he's kind of just been that glue guy that everybody's looking for. He is, everybody says they want a 3-and-D guy, and nobody has ever really fully lived up to it. Danny Green is actually one of those rare guys who truly lives that 3-and-D lifestyle.
He finished last season with the Cavs after he got waived by
the
Rockets.
Really? Wow. Yeah. I remember none of that. So, well, and the Cavs had an early exit too, right? They were 1st-round exits. So, it's wow. Okay.
So he's back with his old coach, Nick Nurse. It's a 1-year deal. And then the other free agent
Philly
news
as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Free agent news is, and we touched on it earlier, Christian Wood going to the Lakers.
Yeah. That's that's a scary one. I mean, we've talked about Christian Wood when it was more in the depths of free agency and why he hadn't signed anywhere. The Lakers are actually a perfect spot for him. I think playing with LeBron and Anthony Davis as well, like having that clear pecking order of, hey, you're never going to,
This Labor Day kickoff, the greatest.
Oh yeah. He's never going to be above LeBron James and Anthony Davis. And so many guys in the history of being LeBron's teammate of just, whether they've been distractions on other teams, they seem to kind of fall in line when they play with LeBron. And I wouldn't be surprised if Christian Wood is one of those guys. I mean, he has so much talent. You look at the numbers and it's a wonder why it took him so long to be signed. I think that this is actually, I hate to say it, but I think the Lakers are a perfect landing spot for him. And I think they're going to be a really, really good team next year.
We'll see. I know we've wondered how come he hasn't signed anywhere.
Yeah.
He's a locker room issue. I think he's just a guy that thinks he's better than he is.
Mhm.
So, and I think the thinking is, well, on that team,
Right.
they'll be able to keep him in line.
I would think
They'll
so.
Get out
Yeah.
of him what they want. Yeah.
And he's a
they'll
good
have to-
piece too, to where if those two guys, Anthony Davis and LeBron, go down, like he is somebody who could probably be relied on for a couple weeks to pick up the load. Like he's been someone last season, averaged 18, 8 or 9 rebounds and shot 40% or near 40% from three. Like
He's talented.
on
There's
the
a lot
floor,
of guys in the
there's no
Lakers that
question.
scare me. He's not one of them.
No, I don't think he doesn't scare me. But he's just another piece to add and another weapon that's just a really versatile, can play on the perimeter, can block shots at the rim. I wouldn't call him a good defensive player, but he's definitely somebody who can stack up some blocks. And if you have him and Anthony Davis roaming the paint, that's going to be a nightmare for some teams to go against. And it's just another piece that Laker team adds that they can throw at people.
But the big news today, the big news this afternoon,
Yes.
comes from the NFL. The 49ers.
Bosa.
Yeah, Nick Bosa. They have agreed to this extension. So Kyle Shanahan was asked today if he has a realistic amount of snaps in mind for Bosa against the Steelers. And Kyle danced around it to a degree, said, we got to see when he gets here. I know Nick will come in shape. I know he'll be good, be great if he could get in something today. I don't know when he's going to get here or where he's flying from, but I know we'll be smart with it, and that will be based over these next 2.5 practices.
You should play him every defensive snap. I mean, just I don't, again, I don't really have much doubt that he's in great shape. I can't imagine that he's been dogging it all training camp. Like I think he's had every intention of playing as much football as possible. And, he's somebody who's taken his conditioning and, he's in incredible shape. Like he's a physical freak. So I can't imagine that Bosa has been pounding, bags of chips all summer long. So I think
he's been hanging out with Luka.
No, I don't think so.
I'll just say it
be
before Verlaad does.
Yeah, I definitely think that he's just been keeping himself in great shape, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's ready to go for a full load in game one.
Yeah, so he's signed, sealed, and delivered for the 49ers now through the 2028 season.
Woo. It's a long time, and again, a lot has been made of the Niners championship window. This definitely helps if you're looking to extend that window. Keeping a guy like Nick Bosa around is a really good way of doing that. And we've also seen, if for whatever reason things don't go bad, these guys' value usually doesn't go down all too much. Like we saw Khalil Mack, what he got when the Raiders initially traded him, and then the Bears traded him as well. Roquan Smith is someone who was traded last year. Like if things don't go well for the Niners and they want to do if they want to sell off the team, Bosa is going to get them at the very least something nice in return as well.
NBC Sports Bay Area reports that this agreement signals the end of the only contract stalemate during the 7-year reign of Lynch and Shanahan. Bosa did not report to Santa Clara for training camp with his teammates. His holdout ends after 44 days.
Wow. I mean, no better timing than now, I guess. I mean, it was sketchy. It definitely, we had Factor Fantasy segments ready for, is he going to play on Sunday? I think everyone was fully prepared to have him not go. And the fact that he is just, it's nothing but positive news. I think the fact that he's going to be ready in game one. And it's just, again, it's not something that's looming around. It's not going to be a huge storyline. If the 49ers lose, no one's going to say, well, did Nick Bosa not sign with him? No, all that matters is that he's here, and you can look forward knowing that he's going to be a part of the team.
All right, we've got the crossover story time coming up next. Is that all right with you?
That's okay with me.
It is next. Whitey and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
The first ever NBA in-season tournament schedule is out, and our Kings have some great matchups, including national TV games against the Spurs and Warriors.
And Sacramento has won. They have risen to the occasion. And let me tell you, if you can't sense it, this place is absolutely nuts.
Listen to every game on the home of the Kings, Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Whether you're shopping for your favorite Honda online or in person, you'll see why Stockton Honda is the #1 Honda dealer in Northern California, and why buying from Stockton Honda couldn't be smoother. Visit in person or online at StocktonHonda.com, where your favorite Honda is ready for you.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
#1 claim based on 2022 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company's own loan report.
Hey, you want to be around people having a great time? You need to come check out Capital Casino, offering the most varieties of table games in the region in the friendliest environment. Come for the food, which is awesome, of course, and stay and play. Conveniently located in downtown Sacramento at 411 North 16th Street. Right there in downtown Sacramento for over 20 years. Cap Casino, best food, best games, and of course, the best action. And please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
For a business to thrive, there needs to be a constant stream of new customers. This happens through strong lead generation. Did you know that lead generation is one of the most important tools of any marketing campaign? Let us help you identify your target audience and market your products and services to them. To get started today, contact aimyourdigital.com. That's aimyourdigital.com and start seeing results today.
Listen to Oakland A's baseball on the weekends all season long right here on Sactown Sports, beginning with the pregame show brought to you by Xfinity 10G, the next generation network.
At your desk, on your phone,
in the car. Whitey and Watkins.
On Sactown Sports.
We're done once again. The helmet signifying my victory today in Back to Fantasy as we welcome in. They'll take you through this afternoon. Jay Ross and FP Jr. Gentlemen, hello.
Hi.
What's going on? What's going on is
looks good on you though.
Bosa got a big bag of money. That's what's going on.
Yeah, I was hoping we missed it by about an hour. FP.
This seems like a cash grab.
Yeah. Last time we were on together was the Trey Lance news, and I literally think I lost FP for about 20 minutes.
I thought I lost me for 20 minutes.
He was gone.
Room, dude.
I was completely. My jaw was on the ground. I couldn't really fabricate my thoughts, which is never a good thing when you're on live radio.
Not great.
But it was a very genuine reaction.
It was the Dallas stab to the heart.
It was Dallas. That's what it really was.
Yeah. So I know you'll be talking a lot about that today.
Yes. My sources say he's out of shape, not ready to go. Now, the sources are Twitter, so I don't know if I should go with that. No, unleash the guy. He's ready to go. Let's go.
It's got to be.
It's going to eat.
Yes.
I'm ready. Finally, I could take a deep breath as a Niners fan.
It's a huge sigh of relief.
Oh, it's just so great.
Yeah.
Really.
And Moody now is supposedly good to go.
Good to go.
You guys good with that? You good with the kickers?
I love
this
Moody.
guy is. You getting the jersey?
Yeah, I may have to. I'm way over, my skis on how great he was going to be, and that was before he's know,
Well, hasn't
not
counted
kicking that
yet.
well in the preseason. So
It's
You
just
know, you can't truly be great until you're at that bottom where nobody believes in you.
Great point, Christopher Law.
Fantastic point.
Mhm. But it's funny because we literally started the show today talking about how, hey, you know, they got the opener, but the Steelers are pretty good, and you got no Bosa and you got no Modi, and now,
Right.
well, the Steelers are still pretty good, but a couple things have fallen in place for the
Yeah,
49ers.
absolutely. That's
Yeah.
good. And good timing. There's enough time to get ready and hopefully have the season they're anticipating. Yeah.
You guys ready for a little story time?
Sure.
Or would you like to try a little? Yes, he did. No, he didn't.
Oh, see, I've played that. That was fun. I don't know if FP would. Play
I have
like
newer played that before, so maybe we should do that.
Yes, he did. No, he didn't. Is based on a call from J. Ross.
Great call.
Yeah. When
Okay.
and what was that was a
Quincy AC?
It was no, it was a
Was that
DeMarcus
DeMarcus?
Cousins dunk that caught me off guard, and that's
Uh-huh.
what it came out of my
It
mouth.
was, it was a winning dunk, right?
We'll say it was from
Yeah.
half court to win
Uh-huh.
the finals. Now that may not be what really happened, but we'll go with that.
So his call was, no, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the way we played, no, he didn't. Yes, he did. I tell you something happened this date in baseball,
Oh yeah, CFP.
or maybe it didn't. So I tell you that I give you the factoid, and then you have to say, no, he didn't, or yes, he did.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I was not good at this. I think you're good at this.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 different years here. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
All right,
Yeah,
FB,
you
you,
go
you
first.
could pick you. I got 1903, 1943, 1976, 1995, 1996, and 2013.
I'll go 1995, the year I was born.
Oh yeah.
1995.
Great year.
Let's go.
Cal Ripken played on this date 2,131st consecutive Major League game to surpass Lou Gehrig's 80-year record. Ripken received 22 minutes standing ovation, win 2 for 4, including a homer. Baltimore's win over California.
Cal Ripken Jr. Yes, he did. No, I don't know, but yes. Let's go with yes.
I'm going to give it to yes, he did. Yes, he did. That did happen. See, I threw it. It was only a 56-year record. I said 80-year record, but I'm not going to.
Oh,
Come
he's
on.
not-
He
That's
did do it.
tough.
He did do it. I didn't call him on it.
No, he did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Give me 1976, please.
1976.
The year I was
Your 25th anniversary at the station?
no, Chris, 50th.
Oh, gotcha,
That time,
gotcha.
Yeah.
Dodger catcher Steve Yeager seriously injured when the jagged end of a broken bat struck him in the throat while he was waiting in the on-deck circle.
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did.
Yeah,
Yes,
I do remember that.
I remember that too.
I remember the
It's
story.
awful.
Yeah, I don't remember the.
You know the flap
it
that
just-
guys catchers wear now?
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
invented it because of that.
Oh my God. Could you imagine if that happened in social media times?
No,
That'd be
back-
nuts.
It was-
Back in the
on-
day,
yeah.
didn't they just have like a hat and a mask? And that was it?
Mask
but
optional.
He was on deck with his helmet, and I think they're playing. I think Don Sutton was pitching. I remember the game, and there's a shattered bat, and it was on TV, and no one knew what happened. Next thing you know, they're like tending the guy in the on deck circles. Like, what happened?
Oh my.
Yeah, yeah.
Scary
He
stuff.
was okay.
What?
He was okay. Yeah.
Oh no.
You want to try Chris Watkins?
Sure, why not? Are these all baseball related?
Yeah, it's all this date in baseball.
2013.
What a wet blanket this guy is.
Yusmero Petit's bid for a perfect game broken up by Eric Chavez's 2-out single in the 9th inning. Right-hander got the next batter to close out the Giants' 3-0 victory over the Arizona Diamondbacks.
I'm gonna say no, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
Oh!
It's the Eric Chavez that really threw me off.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me.
Apparently
You're not that guy.
Can't stand it. Cannot
Oh,
stand
tough room
Yeah,
there.
2-out single in the 9th, breaking up the perfect game.
Oh,
Wow.
What
a day.
You're up, FB?
Okay.
03 and 43 and 96 left.
I will do 03.
And Chris is out. I'm sorry, Chris, you're out.
I'll do
Oh
03.
no.
03.
All right. Horace Grisham tripped on a bat while scoring the only run in the White Stockings 1-0 win over Boston, inventing the head first slide.
No.
You're
This
correct.
is 2003?
No,
No way.
1903. He's correct. He didn't.
He didn't invent it?
He didn't. invent
Okay.
it. That didn't happen. None of that happened.
Okay. What are my remaining years?
You need this one. 1943
or
and 1996.
I'll leave the 96 out there. So let me take 1943.
All right. At 16 years, 8 months, and 5 days, Philadelphia A's pitcher Carl Scheib became the youngest player to appear in an American League game.
Carl Scheib, you say?
Uh-huh.
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, Carl
Nice.
Scheib. I have his rookie card.
So we have one
Not
left.
in mint.
Do you have a coin by any chance? Everybody's tied. All right.
I can generate one on my computer.
All right.
Generate a coin?
Yeah. Coin flip.
Bitcoin?
Coin flip.
Okay.
Okay, let's see what
Coin flip.
Google
Call it,
says.
J-Ross.
Heads.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh no, the internet went out here.
It was heads. No, I don't know.
What's the A's thing over
I'm
there?
gonna flip my cell phone.
Okay.
Oh, that feels dangerous.
No, this is
Well,
not
we'll just
gonna
see
work.
who the pin points
Who's in
are.
between?
Which one of you? It's you two.
I can just go next.
Yeah,
One left.
let FP go.
Yeah, I'll just go next.
Yeah.
Well, but that's it. There's only one left.
Oh, that's fine.
So it's tied here.
Oh,
Right.
2-2. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
So
This
it's
one's
gonna
for
be-
all the marbles.
Okay.
All
So
right.
it's FP.
It's
FP.
FP.
Okay, here we go.
Pass or play, FP.
I will play.
All right, for the win.
He wants to play and win it.
1996. Dave Winfield hit his 500th home run, joining Hall of Famers Hank Aaron and Willie Mays with at least 3,000 hits and 500 homers. He homered off Felipe Lira in the 7th inning of a 5-4 loss to Detroit.
Yes, he did. No, he didn't.
It was actually Eddie Murray who did
Oh,
it. So,
okay.
no, he
Trick
didn't.
question.
Yeah.
Wait, I won?
You won.
Yeah.
Hey!
I was rooting for FP.
Yeah, it was actually
champion.
it was Eddie Murray who did it.
Whatever.
Righty or lefty? Because he was a switch hitter.
What do I
guess
lose?
Felipe Lira, that would have been lefty.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
J-Ross.
Good job, Jason.
Unfortunately, FPJ, you're going to have to be board opping the show today.
Yeah, sorry.
Wouldn't be my
loss.
first time. We're gonna go again.
Yeah.
So what's coming up today on the program?
Yeah, a lot of that. We are going to be talking about Bosa. And I know, and we're also checking in Pittsburgh, getting a little opponent preview this week.
They're
Yeah.
actually a pretty good team, aren't they?
Yeah, I
They
think so.
are.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to be having Jerry Dulac on.
Yeah.
So really excited to have him. He covers the Steelers for the radio network
Yeah.
and the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. So
Uh-huh.
it's getting another perspective.
Yes.
Yes.
Perspective's
And
important.
I think FP is going to maybe concern some Giants fans coming up. The meltdown is happening.
Oh, boy.
And the future may not be as good either. I don't know. We'll see.
Got to keep it real.
Yeah.
Got to
Lost
keep it
today
real.
puts him
I
at
know.
500. right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's happening.
Yeah.
They're-
You know,
yeah.
the great Grant Brisbee, he
Yeah.
referred to them 2 days ago as unwatchable.
Yes.
And he doesn't do that stuff.
He's going to inspire a segment that we're going to talk
Yes.
about later. So,
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe a suggestion, maybe that the Oakland Athletics could be more watchable.
I will say this.
Wow.
We talked about this earlier. The A's season, everything combined and involved has been more interesting than the Giants season.
I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Giants had potential to get there, but yeah.
Now, not on the field, but everything
Right,
else
right,
going
right.
on. It's been
Yeah.
amazing.
Right.
Yeah.
So is this the way it's supposed to go, FP? With the Giants? Like, you're competitive for most of the year. You're making money. Payroll isn't too high. Is that kind of what Farhan's supposed to be doing?
Well, he's there to save some money for sure for the ownership, but he's there to win, and they're not winning. So, I mean, there's going to be a lot of conversations and discussions here in Northern California about his future with the team. He's got an option coming up, so
Yeah.
we'll see what happens.
Bring in Dion. Dion.
Yeah.
Former Giant.
Former Giant.
Yes.
Boom.
Connections.
Yeah.
He'll play and coach for the Niners, Giants, and both. All of them. Do it all.
That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Why
And
not?
Colorado.
Yeah.
We're coming.
Run through a wall for him.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. All right. We got J-Ross and FP Jr. next right here on Sactown Sports.
Check out the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa every week on Sactown Sports. Get the latest on equipment, area courses, people who play the great game,